sir, ma'am, emergency. Please step aside, sir.
Hey, get lost. I'm waiting here, huh?
FBI, you might want to stay out of this, all right, sir? Excuse me, sir, ma'am, please, back off. All right, I need 8 double tall.
And I say, yes. Oh boy. 6 Scale Raw, your premiere show, your only show from Monday night, 6 Scale collecting, the Dark Jedi back in the cantina. We're going to be talking about with a full panel tonight. What have I been saying about another Joker from Hot Toys, a rooted hair Joker from Hot Toys? Which one is better now, the in-art version or the Hot Toys version? Let the controversy begin, because make no mistake about it, that's what it is, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to talk about that within this episode for sure. What about the rooted hair, Anakin? Does it actually look like you got a real human in your hand, like you got real wizard juice in your hand? You got like really Hayden. Hey, Hayden, what's going on, baby? You don't know the power of the dark side, Ares. I don't know, but I'm starting to believe it, Hayden. Another Iron Man. We got an Iron Man last week. We got an Iron Man today. We got 2 Spider-Man last week. We got another Spider-Man today. I thought the Mando season 3 was horrible. I thought it stunk. And all of a sudden we're getting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Will we get 10? Will we get 11? Will we get 12? Oh, baby!
All right. But this is the last time.
Bring the panel into the house. Woo! You have to wonder, second brother, is the N1 really dead? Is it really dead? Or do you have to rethink, because you have no freaking idea, actually, what Hot Toys has really got up their sleeve?
Mm-hmm.
Second brother, I don't even know what to say. What's up, baby?
It's, they've been throwing out some bangers. Some of them you kind of like, there's been enough rumor floating around, so some didn't catch you off guard. But Anakin pretty much stole the show. Anakin stole the show. I think there's maybe some hope for that N1. There's all these surprises coming around, and maybe a little slither of hope, a little slither of it.
Maybe a little bit of this special wizard juice, a little bit of deluxe, not regular version, Brett, but deluxe spotchka, baby, and good to have you in here, second brother, as well. As Eric Henke says, absolutely, second brother. N1 is not dead, Brett. I don't even think that the Death Star trooper there is dead either, because that looks like we're getting that too.
With,
that figure shocked me. What was it, about 6-7 years ago? They showed us that at San Diego Comic-Con, and then it never was seen again. And then suddenly it comes back out again with a bigger command center. And I mean, I got to find room for that piece. I mean, that's OT, baby. That's right to the roots. I got to have that thing. But I think the N1, they're going to make 2 N1s. One, the normal one that we see photos of, and one with rooted hair. So,
whoa! And one with rooted hair, baby. I think that's...
And I say no.
You don't want the one with
rooted hair.
I tell you what, there, Brett. It is. I feel like it's been forever since we had you in here, but it's so good to have you in here, buddy. We got a lot we're going to talk about here tonight. And last but certainly not least, in this epic week, this epic time, we have got the Midnight Collector, as we say hi to Eric Henke again with that chat in there. Lane.
Apparently, Hot Toys MODOK.
Lane, with everything that's coming out, I don't know if a Lane Kramer figure is off the table.
Oh, gosh. Well, someone already decided to put my face on that MODOK in a meme on Facebook. Some of the Facebook groups last week, since we have the same, beautiful definition, skull definition.
Hey, Stone Cold Steve Austin and Boba Fett are making it famous with that hairdo, baby.
That's true. But unfortunately, I'm going to say the N1 is about as likely as me getting accidentally confused with Tom Cruise and getting paid like Tom Cruise.
Listen, baby. Listen. I mean, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. It's what's within.
Well, the only
I thought that you told me that that's only part 1 of the new Mission Impossible. I thought you're in part 2.
Yeah. Well, how it's doing at the box office right now, maybe having to break even. It supposedly needs to make like $900 million or something like that.
Well, I think post-COVID has a lot to do with that, but I'm going to save that for a little bit later.
I got to go to Second Brother though. Just a little bit talking about Anakin. That Anakin though, when we first saw the picture of that hair, the only thing that popped into my head, that Anakin is ruined for me, because I look at that thing when it saw an early picture with the hair kind of messed up, and the only thing I could see was that third party, the chosen one.
I thought you were going to tell me you kept seeing you at 17.
Yeah, I know. I kept seeing that, and I was like, that is the only thing I could see when I looked at that figure, and I'm like, oh my god, it's the chosen one part 2. I've returned again when I was looking at that.
Well, Lane, it's good to have you in here. Let's put some of these chats up in here before we get started. Charlie the Unicorn, what table you at, baby? I'll fill you up, says, has there ever been this much heat dropped in a 7-day time period? It is a great, great question. And look who else is in here, the single songwriter. And he says, Paley with rooted wool hair is coming. Gosh, is this what they call the songwriter?
The Wizard.
Oh, good to have single songwriter in the house. Uncarded reviews. The Mad Goose Wizard is here. Uncarded, it is so awesome to have you in here, baby. Look, I got to get some garlic bread for my Boba Fettuccine. What's going on here, buddy? Good to have you in here. And everybody, panel, we should do this all together. 1, 2, 3. Woo! Yeah. We're better than Boys to Men with that freaking harmony, baby. Let's go, he says. Come on. And Mark attack. It's been a Hot Toys attack. A Howard Chad attack. Oh, am I going to get into it, baby? And Laura is in here. And one with the rooted hair. Yeah. I mean, and maybe we could get... we're too excited. I got to make it more somber. We need to bring somebody in that's going to make this very somber, bring us to seriousness, like this guy who's probably going to get announced tomorrow.
Once more, the Sith will rule the galaxy. And we shall have peace.
I don't know if I agree with that, Amers. Do you remember how much that guy likes to cackle? I mean, especially just later in this thing, he was trying to. Was he trying to use the Force or break Yoda's eardrums with his cackling ability? That might have been.
You mean he doesn't cackle? He laughs like Skeletor, doesn't he?
Well, those fell beasts and stuff in Lord of the Rings would do that scream attack that was supposed to freeze people up with fear. That could have been his Sith's sonic scream that sucked all the hope out of Yoda, making it easier for him to beat him.
Here's something, Brent, that I'm going to ask you, and I don't know if you're going to really be able to answer. Is there more Loki, more Spider-Man, or at the end of the day, more of this guy in any form from Hot Toys?
That's a great question right there.
Because you get a lot of Grogus. You get a lot. I actually, yeah.
There's a lot of Grogus, but man, they are churning out the Spider-Man figures, aren't they?
Oh my!
I mean, I
God.
woke up this morning and I was tangled in a web. I don't know about you guys, but my goodness, it's really been raining Spider-Man. What is that song? It's raining men.
It's raining men. Yeah, hallelujah.
Yeah, it's raining Spider-Men. You know, that's what it's doing right now. So, wow, if you're a Spider-Man collector, it's heaven on earth right now for you. Let me tell you.
At Second Brother, I think there's, in a funny way, maybe too many of them.
What are we going to
do? Yeah, you know, they I'm gonna say they've been giving us a Spider-Man flood, or like I won't say a bad storm, but it's just like you said, Spider-Man all over the place. You know, Iron Man, it's just a given. You're gonna have a showcase without an Iron Man. You know you're going to get one.
Yeah, and we were talking backstage about what more we're going to get. We're going to get into that, but just finishing up saying hi to some of the people. Valiant Archer, as we've already got over 50 in here. Good to have you in here, baby. Charlie the Unicorn is in here. AJ Arguessa is in here. What is up, my friend? Always good to have you in here. The Bantha Rider is in here as well. Good to have Paul in here in the cantina also. And El Keat what is going on, baby? And if I miss any of you here, just keep going in the chat. I'll get you throughout the evening. I'm just an old guy setting the controls at the heart of the sun. So if I miss your chat, just keep putting it in. I will try to get to it. And howdy back at you there, Clinton Martin. Good to have you in here. And Peter is in here. Aries is fixing his wool-rooted hair. Well, you know, I really could tell you that new rooted hair on the Joker is way better than mine, baby. There's not even a doubt about it. So we're gonna get into that in a little bit there, Peter.
Well, and Aries, before we get going, like right before I came on, I think I must have got visited by the Hot Toys Wizard.
You did.
I'm thinking maybe because I literally just said by 2 minutes before coming on here that I really had something I wanted to arrive. And then magically there was this guy who I had never seen before who had something magic in his hands and decided to hand
listen though,
2 minutes
you
came on.
You may need to put that on eBay because in just about another week or two, you're going to get Costco with rooted hair.
So I got to try and sell it before the next one comes out. To build the value before it comes out, even before it's in stock at Sideshow. The value's already toast. It's like
oh my god! With rolling eyes function, OG fan when Star Wars was just Star Wars isn't here. We're gonna get another Boba Fett. Good to have the OG fan in here. We've got Yomo. What is going on? Yo, back at you, baby. Benjamin's in here. Bantha Rider's in here. TK592. Come on. N1 with 1/6 lane in Mandalorian. You can't rule anything out right now, my friends. And Coffin is in here. Goodness gracious. Holy crap. First thing I thought of was my dude Aries. He freaking predicted everything. Well, you know, a lot of people thought, well, let's just be honest. Yes, Hot Toys would do a Joker, but no one was really thinking it was going to be a rooted hair. They're not going to touch that. But I tell you what, Brent, as soon as they showed me that Wonder Woman with the wool hair, I said, oh, crap. What did I say? They're setting the table. They're setting us up for that Joker. And I put it like on 6 different banners, baby, that thing was going to be coming. I didn't think it would actually be today.
Well, you thought maybe it would have its own special day and not be one of like 7 or 8 other things where you go.
It's today, though, Brett.
Yeah,
Jesus.
it's just like
no, it was, and clearly, Hot Toys is sending a message, I think, to all us collectors that this is the path forward now. I mean, I got to believe that a lot of the figures that we're going to see going forward is, they're going to have the rooted hair and they're going to be more lifelike. And I think you have every reason to think in art is a major reason why that
For sure.
Hot Toys has ratcheted up its game. I mean, I think that they were on cruise control with very little competition for well over a decade, and it's been fine. We've loved the figures, but now suddenly you take a look at all those photos that dropped today on Hot Toys Facebook page, and you just zip through that Dark Knight Joker, and that figure is unbelievable looking. And then Skywalker is unbelievable, and you can just keep going on and on and on down the line. I mean, we could talk all we want about rooted hair, but it looks like they've actually, again, they're making the faces look even better. And
I know. We're not even paying attention to the faces. We're all on the hair. No, Brett, you had a good point there. Patrick, what's up? Master Imwe, what's up? Listen, I'm going to miss some people in here. Just keep going into the chat. We're going to go ahead and start talking about all of this. We're going to start off with the Anart Joker. I can hardly contain myself here. So let's just go ahead and dive into all this. Right now! What you gonna do with the Dark Jedi Ares Tarrington? Or maybe the Hot Toys Wizard runs wild on 6-scale Raw on you. What you gonna do? My goodness gracious me. And pulling this up onto the screen without delaying any further, here is from 6-scale Cantina.com, the banner of this show right here. And let me tell you something here, folks. Man, oh man, when you look at this banner, and I'm trying to go ahead and pull it up and let me know when you guys could go ahead and see it here, baby. But do you see that on the screen? Is that showing yet, or is it not? Is it showing now?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
You've got the Joker. You've got Tony Stark. You have got Anakin. And I tell you what, Brent, you do bring up a really, really good point about these head sculpts. I mean, they look like real people. They 100%. Look like they look. We're not talking enough about the head sculpts on these guys. I was watching some show today, and it was my sentiment about this Anakin from last week, not even seeing the pictures today, where that individual was saying, I feel like I've got Hayden Christensen in my hand. And that's how I felt with the first picture. But anyway, this is the show. But pulling this up onto the screen, let's go ahead and start off with this Joker here, Brent. And I'll be honest with you, and I'm going to come right out and say it. You can't tell me that this is worse or InArt's better or Hot Toys is better with this rooted hair. This looks like a real person's hair. So if I'm backstage with Heath Ledger and I'm looking at him with the makeup on and he's like, okay, we're going to go out in 3. We're going to go out in 3 minutes, Bob. This looks like a real person's hair. I mean, I'm going to be honest with you, Brent. It's kind of like you look at your girlfriend, you look at your boyfriend, you look at your husband, you look at your wife. Oh, there's a very little dot in that one pore in your root, baby, as you got out of the shower. I mean, it almost gets to the point where it's a little bit ridiculous. So what I'm trying to say, I don't know how you can get any better than what you're looking at here. And I don't know if this is better than InArt's, and I don't know if InArt's is better, but what I want to say is I don't know if you could do it any better. I just It doesn't get. This is potato. This looks like it's right out of the damn movie, and I don't think there's a chance, Brent, that Howard and gang, with all the wording they put in here, when this actually comes out and it's actually in hand, I think that they've got that in our Joker. I think they've looked at it. I think that they've scoped it out. I think they put every expert on it. And I could tell you right now, it is my belief, and I'll stand by it, it'll be every bit as good. Whether it's better, I have no idea. But this is what competition, as you said, breeds. This is absolutely unbelievable, dude.
Well, the gauntlet's been dropped, and InArt dropped it months ago. And obviously, Hot Toys has been scrambling, I think, behind the curtain, trying to figure out how to play catch up and try to at least tie or perhaps surpass them. And I think they've absolutely done that. That figure right there, I mean, that is an instant grail. Heath Ledger's portrayal of the Joker is one of the most iconic portrayals of it. And to have this figure and have it look just like that is literally fall off the chair, spill your coffee good. And, you've got separate eyeball rolling system with him is what they're saying it is. And you're going to be able to, I mean, that is a scary, scary looking dude. And with the rooted hair to go with that amazing head sculpt in the face, this figure, if you're a Batman fan or a Joker fan, I mean, this is, like I said, this is Christmas and your birthday all wrapped up in one today, because this is an unbelievable drop by Hot Toys. And again, they're like, here we are. It's a brand new game, folks. Let's cut the ribbon and let's go run and see who can win the race now between Hot Toys and InArt. And, we'll see. But I think going forward, this is the type of quality we're going to be seeing from Hot Toys. I got to believe that it is.
No, I think that's really, really good thoughts. Good stuff, Brent. And second brother, I'm going to bring it to you, and I'm going to reiterate my opinion. I don't know which version's better, because this is a prototype. So the proof's going to be in the pudding when these come out. I could tell you what Hot Toys has been doing lately, second brother. That Casca, that Fennec, those Lukes, that Andrew Garfield, these figures that they're coming out with, that Sylvie, that freaking Scarlet Witch, they're looking better than the prototype. I don't know, but I feel like that this is so good. Like the InArt one is so good. I feel like that they're just like, hey, here's a Hot Toys version, a popular brand version, if you're dedicated to Hot Toys version. And here you are. Dude, this is really good. Give me your thoughts on it.
Brother, I just came back from Honolulu, and I got 7 boxes behind me. That's like, Casca, you have Fennec, you have Luke. It was so many of them. And good thing before I left, I pretty much put together a box for UPS to put things in instead of sitting in front of the house. It was like a pulling teeth trying to, get somebody to pick them up. But, InArt fired the shot. It's like an old naval battle.
Yep.
It's like InArt fired their first shot across the bow, and Hot Toys like, okay, we're going to fire ours, but ours is going to be a little bigger. And then we're going to see what now the fire's coming, because InArt already put out that preview for that Henry Cavill Superman. It looks fantastic.
Yeah.
So we see what the deal is with that. But just to say, for what they're doing, and I've seen, Jay's InArt Joker, and I was highly impressed. Only thing would stop it is the price point. Hot Toys is coming in at a right price point with this. And we just see if the mass production puts out more than the prototype, because they track record thus far, they've been knocking it out the park. The figures look better than the prototype's been coming out. So, hey, I love the competition. It pretty much put the spike in the fire, and like, hey, everyone needs to up their game. While we are, the plastic crackheads that we are, you're just like, okay, just bring more. And like I said, it's only which way but up at this point. Only which way but up.
Only which way but up. No, good thoughts. And Lane, I'm going to kick it over to you. And obviously, and I knew this, I said, let the talk and the controversy or the, here's the thing, Lane. I'm just going to go up and say this. There's people that spent over 1,000, some 1,500 hours on an in-art Joker. And Hot Toys puts out the same thing. Essentially. And it's really, really interesting. What do you think's going to happen here now? Are people that have the in-art one just going to buy this one? They're going to pass on this. It's kind of like, or you're going to have people that are going to sell that one to get a Hot Toys one. You're going to get Hot Toys enthusiasts say, oh, I want the Hot Toys one. Or now, Lane, do you have people, collectors that didn't get either of them yet and now are going to choose? And then there's an interesting thing about price. But, Lane, what is your thoughts on this? Because he came out with the glove swinging, Howard.
Yeah, I think the figure's right. And it looks like this could be maybe kind of a first of a new line where, it's a DX. There's a DX instead of just the DX and Deluxe DX stuff, which is confusing, I think. This kind of branding of like artist proof edition, it makes it could be a different level of one for like this style of hair. Or just other stuff with the figure, like a different level of it, a little bit like maybe most premium Hot Toy. Now, to be fair, this guy, I will say, his translation for this version from Hong Kong is $432. So that does not include the sideshow tax. So this is probably going to be an almost $500 figure. Now, that is a lot. Now, when you do put that, though, admittedly, it was like 2 head sculpts and kind of 2 figures almost, the $1,000 for the other one.
Mm-hmm.
But the barrier to the rooted hair was you had to spend $1,000. So that
is true. It's kind of like if you wanted that, I'm going to give a correlation now. Hot Toys is something similar. If you wanted Dark Suit Superman, you're buying Nightmare Batman and you're spending money for 2 figures whether you want it or not.
Yeah, but I think these are comparable to each other in quality, but I don't think it has to be a versus thing. I think maybe the unfortunate thing is Hot Toys saw people were willing to spend $1,000 on a rooted hair Joker, and we're like, hey, you know what? I bet you we could chart. That tells us maybe we could do a single figure, for $450 to $500. That's not a die cast Iron Man or something. So
you've just hit a very, very big point, because when it comes down to it, it always comes down to the almighty dollar, doesn't it, Lane?
Yeah.
In many cases with this.
And I think, but I think the figure looks great. Now,
let me ask you this: what about this highly accurate recreation of the jacket's fabric? They worked with the producer or that guy. They talked all about it.
Yeah.
In their Facebook thing, flap collar rests perfectly on the chest. I don't know what that's all about, but maybe you guys could tell me what that means.
I think this shows the strategy of Hot Toys waiting for a while, because they got to see actually. I wouldn't be surprised. Maybe there's some employees got their hands on some of the actual, early batch of the in-art.
Oh, I'm sure they did.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Where
they definitely did.
Yeah. Where they got to see what the plus and minuses are and just reaction to the figure and stuff, so that they could do little. I think they had this guy figured out a lot, the major points of it for a while. I mean, this is not a new figure, like they've never done this guy before. Now, it has been a long time since they did it. So this is a massive improvement over the last years. But I think they were able to tweak it and stuff to make it that much better, give it a little bit more of that premium feel to it.
Absolutely. And Bantha Rider says maybe it's going to be a special series aimed at certain collectors. Possible. And Lewis says competitive benchmarking. Absolutely. Totally agree with that. Red in the Ledger in the house says that's why I said 600 shipped. Could be. Could actually be. That's what Peter said here. He said this will be 600. What's that?
Isn't it like Didn't they put it? I know for Anakin, I think they said it was like 3,000 or 4,000, like worldwide or something for his figure. Was there anybody in chat, or you guys heard if there was that for the not the sculpted hair Joker? That's going to be one most people buy. But if this one has an edition size to it, like reported edition size that it's going to be have from Hot Toys, then I don't know if any of you guys heard that or anybody in chat. Does he have a similar thing?
Let us know in the chat.
Okay.
So we don't know prices for these figures yet, right? None of them are up for pre-order yet?
No, they're assuming around what I saw today that this was going to be, what, 500 or 520 US all in? But no one's really going to know, right? Second brother, I mean, I think it's going to be around 500. We got to see what Sideshow will put it at, competitive-wise.
Well, we thought, I know, last week when we had the Advanced Suit 2.0 Spider-Man and stuff, where it had the big Iron Spider stuff, when that Miles was 290, I was hearing more like, 325, 330 for that Spider-Man. And, it was only 305. Now, the original, I think, was a lot cheaper back when it came out. But, so it did, it's 432 in Hong Kong if you're buying it. So,
So Lane, let me ask you this, because you got a lot in here. Red in the Ledger says I'm saying 600 ship. Charlie says I bet this will be in the $350 range. You won't know until they put it out. I think it's around $5. So let me ask you this, Lane. Let's say this is around. That's what I was hearing today, about $500, $520, $550, whatever it is, $600. You're limited to 4,000 pieces. You want rooted hair. What's a better deal? To spend $1,000 to get a rooted hair one from InArt, or to get a Hot Toys one? And which one do you think people are going to go with? Or is it just going to be, hey, if you like InArt, I'm going to go with that. If you're a Hot Toys guy or gal, you're just going to go with the Hot Toys, no matter what the price.
Well, normally I would say if people had it available now, they probably more likely than not have to wait a year and a half for this one, possibly. But there's still people who are waiting for batches still, I believe, of the InArt Jokers still that haven't got them yet. So I can't say that. I think obviously this one, to me, there are two different things a little bit, but probably this guy, because if there are only 4,000 now, InArt might have had a similar number of the rooted hair done too, or less, since it was such a higher expensive. But I would probably say, because just distribution, it's going to be easy. I mean, you just go to Sideshow. I mean, if they have a login or whatever, you can go onto it, get it now. Or if it's not, I don't know. It's exclusive, so it's probably just going to be through Hot Toys.
Well, let me pivot this to you, Brent. It's Jamie Tan says, good to have you in here. Rooted Joker limited to 4,000. That's what I heard today. It will sell out in 5 minutes. What say you on what Jamie's saying?
Well, I think I think he's onto something there. I think we've been talking on this show for months about low product run and this new marketing business model that Hot Toys is going with in terms of all their newly released non-rooted hair figures, obviously, that we have been pre-ordering and seeing come out over the course of the past year. We're watching figures go, on wait list, months before we even get notifications that they're shipping. I mean, I think with these right here, I think it's going to be a low product run. I think Hot Toys doesn't want to get stuck with these high-end pieces sitting on shelves in a back warehouse somewhere, like they've been dealing with for the better part of the last 2 years with everything else. And this is one of those moments where, if you want one of these, when that thing goes up for pre-order, you better just lock yourself into one and then start figuring out how you're going to pay for it, because that way you've got one locked and you just never know, how many there are. And, who knows? I mean, maybe inside of a week, 10 days, this Heath Ledger Joker goes on wait list. I mean, it would be unbelievable to see something like that happen.
And I think that let me pivot this to you, second brother. That's good stuff there, Brent. We're going to come back because Peter says, Coca-Cola rooted hair is 4,000 pieces worldwide. Okay. It is. But you know what's kind of funny about these second brother? I have a hunch, and we're going to see what the panel thinks here. I think with some of these figures that they're putting out, like I'm going to just throw out there, Mighty Thor, the fourth sister, Cobb Vanth. I don't think they're making 4,000 of those. Some of these figures that they put out that don't even crack the top 10 and then are staying all the way in the back. I feel like with these, they put in a lot of hype. Oh, look, it's a special Joker. Look, it's a special Anakin. Oh, we got to get it. We got to get it. But I venture to guess, and I don't know, but I venture to guess with some of those figures that I mentioned and some of those figures that are going on waitlist well before they come out, I don't even think they make anywhere close to 4,000 of those. They're just not popular and they're not exclusive. Am I crazy?
Yeah, it seems like it because it's just like the KX Enforcer droid. You know, that one just waitlisted out of nowhere. And how long did it last? Was the KX Enforcer like maybe 3 months? Maybe 3 months? And it went to wait list. So, but what I am afraid of this is that when you start going down this road of 3,000 pieces, 4,000 pieces, the adventure that you go through to get these, some collectors may turn them off. Because for the Spider-Man, I didn't even try to attempt. After my last experience of trying to get the other figure that had exclusive on and being kicked out of it 3 times. So I was like, you know what? I'm not going to waste my time and go through that. You're going to have some collectors that are like that. But, you know, I'm kind of afraid of if they come out with this new line, is it going to lessen the quality of the regular Hot Toys that they put out? Does that give them a little bit of a wiggle room when they come out with something and it looks crazy like Supergirl, for instance? And they're trying to use the justification of like, okay, we have this artisan line here. So
let's beef up on the artisan line and let's put more Phillips head screws in the bottom of armors.
Right.
On the regular line, because you know you got to get the art. I see what you're saying with that, second brother. It could be something that happens. Let me pivot it back to you there, Brent. With that, and then with second brother's thoughts. But with this here, I can literally see them in the future. You're seeing a lot of exclusives. I feel like more so than usual. But you're seeing a lot of the regular figures hit waitlist like crazy fast. And you are seeing quality of like that Andrew Garfield Amazing Spider-Man and that Sylvie and that Scarlet Witch and those Lokis that just came out and that Casca and that Fennec baby and that Cad Bane. Is it possible that maybe they're moving to where everything has a certain number and they just say, hey, it's limited to 2,000. We're putting these out. They didn't even say it's exclusive. They could say, hey, we're putting these out. There's 6,000 of them. When they're out, they're out. All of a sudden, even more than the wait list, when the wait list goes, you're kind of like now like, okay, I better order these. And then the same thing will happen. It'll hit wait list when it does. But I can actually see them as another stage. You know, Sideshow's on this thing, Brent, where it's like, hey, low stock warning. And then it seems like sometimes it just goes on wait lists, and you're like, what the frack?
Yeah.
What happened? Like with the Purge Trooper, like where did it go, baby? What's going on? Could you see that happening? Because I actually can, because I feel like that there's a perfect storm in place where this could start setting in. Go.
Oh, I think there's no doubt about it. I think each one of these figures that dropped today, I bet you they've got a product run number already on paper of how many they're going to have available of each. And somebody is, they've got a counter somewhere. I'm guessing an algorithm within their website where it's keeping track. And, as the figures continue to sell, you're going to, get close to having that low stock warning. But, if you're not going to jump on these figures right away, I mean, are you going to be going to the website and refreshing it every 20 minutes to see if you still have a shot at getting it? I mean, that's, I think you have to make some decisions now. And I think Lane brought this point up earlier too, and that that's the price point. Are we venturing into a realm here now where we're looking at $400 to $500, $500 to $600 1/6 scale figures? Also, is Hot Toys going to gradually wean us off of the line that we have loved and collected for the past several years and start moving exclusively into this? Are we going to see, the original OT Star Wars characters, Farm Boy Luke, Smuggler Han, Leia with hair buns? I mean, are we going to see those figures remade, in a few years or maybe sooner with rooted hair?
Well, and let me ask you this, Brett. As the single sword writer says here directly what you're saying, so I don't want to lose the thought. You can always get the sculpted hair version, which is not limited to 4,000. But you know what I say? Because I'm seeing this. You're seeing it with the sculpted hair version, and they just may not be fracking telling you, may be more rare than this one.
Right.
You can't even tell me when they put out that fourth sister that they're going to make more than 4,000 of that one. They're just not. Some of those figures are just not, they're not, they're low runs. But actually, Songwriter puts this up. I can actually see, because you're seeing there's no rhyme or reason. You're seeing sometimes a collector edition. Oh, it's still in stock. And the deluxe version. Well, because people really want the deluxe one. But then on the other half of them, the deluxe one, which is more expensive, that one's out. Oh, it's because people want to spend less money and they want the collector one. There's no rhyme or reason to it. But I'm telling you, Brent, the sculpted one could be less than 4,000, and they may just not tell you.
You're right. And, which one is it? It's like a shell game that they could be playing. I mean, the original sculpted one may be the one that's the grail in the end. The one that's the harder one to get, the one that's going to blow up on secondary market when you're doing your show about it. You just never know. I guess if you have the budget, you buy both and you've got your bases covered and you can sleep well at night. But most people are not able to do that. So I think you just have to pick one and hope that it's you get the one you want. And that's it,
I tell you, with all these, this is what I've been doing all damn week. And I think the Hot Toys Wizard may have popped up in here. Is that El Professor? Was it Mario? Or is this what they call
the Wizard?
Look, man, this is the Wizard talking right here. I heard someone earlier in this chat talking about an N1 and rooted hair. Come on, y'all. Stop. That ain't when they come in. Rooted hair, sculpted hair. It ain't coming. Come on, stop it.
The N1 is flying high. Listen, Mario. Listen, buddy. And I think we lost. Did we just lose Lane?
We lost Lane.
Hopefully I didn't kick Lane out because I was pressing a lot of buttons. Lane will be right back in.
I hope the Wizard hasn't taken him.
I think, but listen, here comes the Lanester again coming back in. Lane, we thought maybe you were abducted by aliens, and
no, my internet decided to go.
But listen, Mario, we're getting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. With the 9, the 10, with the rooted hair Bo-Katan and this freaking Moff Gideon. Look, dude, and we're going to get a Mando. I don't know what kind of Mando we're going to get, but they're not going to skip on a Mando. But, dude, that's a lot of stuff. But talk to me about this Joker, dude. I mean, I want to ask you this. Look, you can't convince me that there's maybe more of the sculpted hair, because there may be. But yeah, they're actually not telling you. They're just saying it's not numbered. What do you think about that?
No, I mean, it's the truth of the matter is we honestly don't know what their production runs are for anything. But it's good to see that they finally did this thing. We've been calling it for the longest time. We've seen the writing on the wall. They gave us Two-Face a few years ago. Then we got Catwoman, Selena Kyle. We got Bane from the Dark Knight trilogy. It's only obvious that the Joker would be in there sometime soon. I guess it was in their best interest to wait to see what Inart does. They got the product out. It's been in collectors' hands for a while, and now they can come out and execute. Me personally, I don't like this rooted this rooted sculpt. I really don't, man. I just think it just looks all messy. The hair needs to be done a little bit more. I'm more of a fan of what they did with the sculpted version, to be honest. I was talking about it earlier on my stream today that I feel the sculpted might be the way to go, regardless of the of how limited that it may be. I just think aesthetically, in my opinion, they nailed the sculpted version better than they did with the rooted, which is weird.
And you know what's interesting, Mario, because so many in the chat were divided. Like some think that this rooted hair is better, some think like you and think the other one's better. But I actually think that until it comes out, we may not know until it comes out. But here's something I want to ask you, because Brent brought this up and I thought it was a good point. We're all talking about rooted hair, but we're not talking about the head sculpt and the way it looks like freaking Heath Ledger, all these figures, the Anakin. I mean, I feel like we're not even, I mean, this looks like a real person. Maybe if you're in the opinion like you, the hair could be better or the hair is better. Maybe they will think about they woke up in the morning and they woke up out of bed, they had a bad hair day. This freaking head sculpt, dude. I mean, they're looking good. Hot Toys is doing better and better.
They have been improving their paint apps, recently within the past year. I remember, what was it, when Cosca Reeves dropped the solicitation photos a little over a year ago. I remember all of us were taken aback at how far as how good everything actually looked, from the paint apps to the sculpt and the hair and everything. And I think they've just been improving ever since. And these figures that are coming out in this artisan line are no exception. The paint apps are looking great, the sculpts are looking great, and that's what I appreciate in a premium line like this, where they get the sculptures looking more lifelike and realistic. Because this thing right here, when it's all said and done from Sideshow, you're looking at damn near $600 shipped for the rooted version for this figure.
Well, what is it overseas, Mario?
I think it's like $460 or something like that.
So you got to calculate what Sideshow's going to put on.
Calculate the Sideshow tax on top of it, and then tax and shipping after that. You're looking damn near $600 for this thing. And,
but now here's the thing: if you didn't get, because here's the thing, to me, and this is my opinion with this, I really can't tell you how good this is, because the in-art one's phenomenal, but this one looks phenomenal. So I really can't tell you which one is better until I see this one. I can put them hand in hand. That's how good this is. I almost feel like, okay, one woke up on Tuesday morning. This is what he looks like coming out of his locker room on day 7 of filming it. And then the one that in art it's day 20 of coming out of the film room. But here's a question I want to ask you, buddy.
Yeah.
Because I've heard two sides of the story today. Oh, the in art one's a better deal because you get this or you get that. But maybe for some collectors, this will be a better deal because we're able to get rooted hair for just that $500 or $600 you're saying, and don't have to pay that. I feel like now, Mario, what I'm trying to say is there's maybe 2 options for people.
Well, absolutely. Absolutely. That's the thing. Because I know here's the thing too. In-art comes out, they're a brand new company, they're not really proven, right? They as far as I know, one of our major concerns was the customer support after the figure ships. What happens if something's defective? Who's going to help cover this thing? So now that, assuming Sideshow will actually carry this, it'll be backed by Sideshow. So for those that were nervous about the in-art one, maybe,
that's a good point. You're talking about shipping wise and that?
Either shipping or anything that's wrong with the figure, you have someone to return it in exchange. If something goes wrong, Sideshow's got your back for us here in the States and everyone else worldwide that usually buys some Sideshow. So that's something to consider as well. For those that may have not considered picking up the in-art, you have the option for picking up the Hot Toys as well, which they're both. I don't think you can go wrong with either. It's just a matter of personal opinion. You're going to get what you're going to get at the end of the day. That's all up to you.
That's what I feel as well as I pivot to the 1/6 scale man who is in the house. Lale, it's good to see you there, brother. I'm just excited because it's great to be back on 6 scale Raw.
Yeah,
there's so much stuff to talk about. I almost don't know where to begin, but we're starting off with this in-art Joker, and I'm going to tell you, bro, I don't know which one is better, but I feel like Mario. I was just talking about with Mario. I feel like you got 2 options now, and this is crazy. Give me your thoughts on this.
So yeah, I kind of talked about this earlier today. So again, like the beauty of it is that there are options now. You have two companies that obviously, I mean, are competing against each other, plain and simple. Because the only reason why we're seeing this right now is because NART chose to do it. Hot Toys wanted to follow suit and give us their interpretation after they've already given us an interpretation. But this is an update, so definitely this is an update and a complete evolution from the original, its predecessor, from the original piece. But um, I agree with Mario. The biggest thing is the head sculpt is fine, just like the head sculpt is fine on Anakin. My worry is always with that sculpted hair, because the thing with InArt, bro, is that they're not using. Okay, they're using, this is wool, so they're using wool, but in my opinion, that they both look a little bit. They look a little bit too thick. Anakin looks thick. This looks thick, and on top of that, depending on how they package it, is it going to come out this way? You know what I mean? If they package it normally the way they used to, wrapping that piece of plastic around it and just sending it out, in the clamshell like they normally do, that's not going to work for something like this. If you're giving us what you call your top tier, or top notch, that is, again, you're going to have to repackage it a totally different way to deliver on the promise that something like this will be good. Now, here's the thing. When we talk about the evolution of the sculpt, that's fine, but I will say that, and here's the thing, it happens because I've seen it already. Like, I've seen it already, and I kind of stay away from it. Is that there's a war between InArt and Hot Toys, and who's better and who's loyal to this company, who's loyal to that company, instead of just realizing that, number one, you have the beauty of being able to select what option you want. You know what I mean? Like with this, if Sideshow gets this, like Mario said, the beauty of it is you have security with shipping, replacements, stuff like that. And the biggest issue that InArt is having right now with most of these companies, especially overseas, is that there are still people right now that do not have their figure yet. Like they still don't have their InArt piece. I was talking to what was it, last week? I was actually talking to KG. KG doesn't even have his. So this is what I'm saying. Like there are people that are still waiting. Whereas
still waiting for mine too, bro.
Yeah, a lot of people are still waiting. Whereas with Sideshow, once they get these pieces in, they're going out. And you know that it's more reliable that way. Because of InArt was the reason why I chose never to basically shop overseas again, ever. Because I didn't want to go through that process. But I mean, as far as being able to decide which version you want, you do have those options. That's the beauty of it. But I'm with Mario on this one. That I do not really specifically like the rooted hair at all. The sculpted is fine, but the rooted, to me, it just doesn't hold up. It doesn't, in my opinion, and I'm just saying this, in my opinion, it's not to say that the head sculpt is not good, but in my opinion, when it comes to rooted, InArt wins the day on this one because of how it comes and how it still maintains, even in my display right now. Now, we didn't see this one yet, so who knows how this is going to look. But they are using a wool, and we don't know if it's going to be. I just don't know. I'm not really sure. But the way it looks from right now, it is what it is. I don't I don't need this because I already have the InArt version. Both, rooted versions, two figures. I don't need it. I'm fine. But I'm happy for people that now they have a choice who missed out on the InArt version, who can get this one now. You know what I mean? And they might feel more secure going this route. It just depends on how they package it. If this is this Premier Deluxe that they're giving us, then you better give us Premier top tier packaging. You better make sure that this head sculpt is wrapped the right way and that it comes out looking exactly like this, especially for the price, depending on if this is going to be, like, we might as well say, over $400.
It better look good. Well, let me ask you this, because you do Figure Flex Friday.
Yep.
And you do a lot of posing stuff well.
Yep.
And I'm hoping to come on one of these days and show you how bad I am at posing. But listen, is there something where with rooted hair, and help me out because I don't got a rooted hair figure, okay? But obviously I'm gonna be getting some here, especially with that Anakin, and we'll see how it goes. But you buy a figure and you have to bring it to life with a pose because you articulate the arms, you articulate the ankles, you articulate the legs, the waist, the neck, so on and so forth. You even get rolling eyes function so that you could articulate the look, and then putting the lighting in there to get that type of attitude or ambiance or read in that spirit or soul of that thing. So I ask you, do you want could people be looking with that, with this wool hair? Could it look like this? But then when you get it, and I'm not talking about comb your damn Chewbacca, because I can't wait, Lael. If they could give me a wool Chewbacca, I'm going to sell my Force Awakens ones tomorrow and get ready, because I would love that. But is it possible that maybe you want, with this wool, that you can maybe pose it like on Figure Fix Friday to look perfect? Because you got to pose your figure anyway.
Look, listen. And I've been telling people, and I don't mind telling people, that the secret to my success when it comes to rooted hair is this right here. This is Murray's. I keep it. I keep a stash.
Wait, let me blow it up. Baby.
Brother always knows what I'm talking about. This right here, I have had this particular can right here that I've had for 8 years. 8 years. 8 whole years with still stuff in it, because the thing is, all you need is a dab and you're good. But this basically works perfectly for rooted hair because it's a balm. So you can use this this hair balm. You can use it, just on 2 tips of your fingers, and just basically just course the hair and it stays. So it definitely works. The problem is, it depends on who, because look, what works for me may not work for everybody else. If you've had rooted hair in the past, and people who've had rooted hair in the past, the issue. Basically what works, what doesn't work. But what I'm basically saying is, for me, I don't want to have to go through the hassle of always having to futz with the hair. With that in-art version, I don't have to worry about it. I don't. It stays, even the way it is right now, it stays. I've never had a problem with it yet. Not to say that this is going to be the same issue, but I'm just judging this off of, again, when we saw, and I want to get to something else after this, but when we saw this particular figure, or not this figure, the Anakin figure, before it was released, before it was debuted, it was behind the scene photos that we actually seen through Sideshow. And that thing looked terrible. It did. In my opinion, I just thought it looked terrible. Now, the promo photos that we actually saw in the prototype, that looks good. That definitely looks good. It was done well. But again, who knows how it's going to look once you get it in hand, and if it's going to be the same thing. Now, problem is, all of us are having this discussion about this piece and how beautiful it is, and everybody out there are enjoying this. There's one thing that they kind of messed up on, and that kind of pisses me off, because they're doing this now. And I know that some people like this, but to me, it's just like you're kind of limiting what you could. Like, there's money you're gonna leave on the table when you make this exclusive. When you're saying that this is an exclusive piece, and the simple fact that not too many people are going to be able to get it. So this is probably going to be one of those situations where people might lean more towards the sculpted, because they might not think that they can get their hands on this piece because of the trouble that we've actually already had with exclusive pieces, especially if you're going through Sideshow. Now, what really pissed me off, and I talked about this earlier this morning, and then I move on, I let everybody else, whatever. But the real thing that really pissed me off, bro, was last week when they debuted that Anakin, they didn't slap an exclusive label on it.
Oh, you're right, baby. You're right.
There was no exclusive label on that piece at all. Even when they basically posted it up on their own page, they didn't slap an exclusive label on it until today.
Well, why would they? Why would they slap an exclusive label on a teaser? Because that's all it really was just a teaser. There wasn't an actual solicitation going up for pre-order like they showed.
But they did the same thing. But see, here's the thing, Mario. They did the same thing for both Spider-Man and Miles. It was a teaser at first before they showed us. They had the exclusive on both those pieces.
You're right.
So, but they should have did the same thing with that Anakin, and they didn't do it. So now everybody who was talking about, oh, this is available, I'm so glad it's not an exclusive. Well, Hot Toys was like, well, yeah, here we go.
You know what's interesting though, Lael, because we were talking about this right before you came in, and we're not saying this is the case or not, but it does make you wonder. There's nowhere you don't really know, and which is kind of funny because they're not telling you. You don't really know if that sculpted hair version is more than 4,000 pieces. Because a lot of the stuff that's going on waitlist, some of these characters are coming out with, you can't convince me, at least me, my opinion, that is over 4,000 or 5,000 pieces, all of these. But the thing is, you don't know. I actually wonder in the future, Lael, and I don't know if they would, I wish they would do this so we would all know. These figures all going on waitlist, stuff like that. Just say, hey, you know what? There's 3,000 of them. There's 6,000 of these. There's 7,000 of these. And whenever it goes out, it goes out. But we don't even know if the sculpted one, maybe secretly they're like, I don't have faith the sculpted one's going to sell that good, but we'll say that this one's exclusive at 4,000, and we won't put a number on the sculpted one. But we really don't know how many there are.
And I didn't understand how. Okay, so they debuted this today, and they gave us two versions: one exclusive, which is the rooted, and one sculpted that's not exclusive. And I said this even on their page before I removed it because I didn't want a shitstorm. I was like, why not give us Anakin and as rooted as well? It has an updated head sculpt. Just give us the rooted version of that. I'm pretty sure people would like that as well, because there are some people.
You mean the sculpted version?
I mean, I'm sorry, the sculpted. Sorry about that. Why don't they just give us a sculpted version as well? Because there are some people out there that don't really like rooted. You know what I mean? Some people don't really like rooted. Some people basically like having sculpted hair. So if you give us those options, if you made Anakin exclusive, but you gave us the rooted version, I mean the sculpted version that wasn't, and it wasn't exclusive, people would have been okay with that. I would have been fine with that.
I think that's not too late, man. I think they'll definitely give us some sort of option with the sculpted version in the Kenobi line, probably, or with Ahsoka coming up with a flashback. Who knows? But I'm sure we're definitely going to see a sculpted version. I'm pretty sure.
Well, they did. Remember, like and I was talking about this last week when they debuted the repaint for the 501st.
Right.
They showed us an Anakin
501st, yeah.
And we were like, oh, are they going to give us a reissue on that, or is there going to be a reissue, or is there going to be a 2.0? Well, yeah, it's a 2.0, but you know, it's so that's what I'm saying. Like you have different demographics, you have different people, like just two groups of individuals. Some people like rooted, some people like sculpted. They capitalized with that on this Joker. They could have did the same thing with Anakin. You know what I mean? And I'm pretty sure people would have liked it. But you know, it is what it is.
It's interesting here, guys. Let's go to a couple of these comments. Mike Literis is in the house, and I'm trying to put this up in here. Yeah. I don't like rooted. Well, that's and then go ahead, Lane.
Well, I was going to say to Lael's thing, you know, I think we can have an idea. At least we've had firsthand been able to see pictures or just in person that Wonder Woman 100. Remember, we saw it all done up in the picture, but there was like video from the guy who does it for the Justice Channel and other stuff. We went to Secret Base and we saw the Wonder Woman's hair, or it was in an event, I think, too. And it was all funky looking.
Yeah.
So, I mean, so we have seen, and that's supposed to be wool, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, it is wool.
Yeah, it is wool.
So, I mean, that just a little bit of idea what you might need to expect for what you were talking about for upkeep, possibly on that. I have two statues which are rooted hair. Yeah. And I have a specific comb I have to use to try and keep a tangled knots out of it. It's one of the, I can't imagine
Did you just admit that? Really? Did you? You really do that? You got to comb the statue's hair, bro.
hey, Lane, don't be ashamed, because I have to do the same thing for Wonder Woman constantly. It's like one of those things where not constantly, but you have to do retouches, bro. Like this is how it is. Like when you move that figure around, if you repose it, you got to retouch up the hair. Occasionally, you have to do that when you have these things. Man. I'm not ashamed of that. It's a figure that I paid money for, so you got to do. You know?
Do what you got to do. I'm just curious to hear about Lane.
Bro, I'm doing it for a statue I spent over $2,000 on.
Right.
That statue for that price is got to look.
Shouldn't have that.
Lane, like I'm gonna be combing the shit out of that hair, man.
Watch me,
motherfucker. I'm having to do it for the Catwoman. Anne Hathaway Catwoman. That one keeps getting tangled all the time. The Harley Quinn, because I own that one too. With the braids, I figured would be all kinds of wacky to have to maintain.
Yeah.
She just stayed. I don't have to touch it. Like it just looks, because her hair's already kind of weird looking anyway. But the straight hair is a pain in the butt. But I think that Wonder Woman 100 kind of shows you. That's something I think Lael points out for something like this. If you're going to spend as much as whether it was the in-art Joker or you're going to spend as much on this figure, I think one thing you have to consider a little bit, and Anakin probably too, if you're going to buy that figure, spend say $500 on it, I think you have to consider, are you going to be willing to put a little bit of the effort? Now, it's not a ton of effort or anything like that, but put effort to make sure that item, if you're going to spend that much money on it, put some time into keeping it or maximize it. Because if you're not, then why wouldn't you just get a sculpted hair version where you?
I think it's going to be
good and leave it alone.
I think it's going to be preference, like you guys are saying. But giving a shout out to some in here, we have got the 6 scale mafia in the house. Anthony, greetings all. Super exciting day. And he says, don't forget to smash that like button and go ahead and do that. I do appreciate your support. It was great tuning in and being in the chat with the Mafia a little bit earlier this afternoon. Always good to have Anthony in here as well. Got so many in here. And shout out to Ray at Hawk Wars Toys, who Lael says you were correct about, I guess, what you were talking about here, brother. Always good to have Ray.
Shout out to Ray
in the house.
Good guy, such a good guy.
Oh yeah.
Just got my I got Casca coming in the mail. I should get it tomorrow. Paid Ray over the weekend.
Nice.
Yeah. Not Casca, Fennec.
Fennec.
He's getting Casca. I think he told me next week he's getting that in.
Yeah.
But gosh, guys,
can I ask a question real quick?
Go, baby, go.
And I guess it's to everybody on the panel, and even people out there in the chat. Like, now that we're seeing this, right? Okay, so we've seen art. We've seen, Hot Toys now. They're doing this and stuff like that. It just seems like that's a back and forth thing. I mean, somebody actually earlier when I did the corner, they're like, you know what? Now, literally, I just want to see something different. So my question is, do you think that this, if companies continue to keep giving us like rehashes on the same pieces over and over again, that people may slightly check out?
I think some will, because we're seeing different iterations. Even this morning we saw another Iron Man. It's a different variation.
We just got one last week, a cool comic one.
But it's different. It is different, but it's a rehash kind of different. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So but we also, to your point, we got League of Legends figures today. We got the Beatles today too. You know what I mean? Not John Paul, George, and Ringo, but these other ones from Japan.
Yeah, that was dope.
Yeah, man.
Baby.
And that black suit Spider-Man. Oh my god.
That's.
Oh my god.
The crazy thing is, me being a Star Wars collector, I was most excited for that Spider-Man.
That's me too. I said that today, bro. I'm a Star Wars fan, but that was the most exciting piece for me today, thus far, bro.
Lil spent a little while on that Spider-Man this morning.
Oh hell yeah, bro.
He was like, yeah.
I couldn't move. Because I was looking at it and I expected to see it, but I didn't expect to see it so soon. And after seeing it, I was like, you know what? I'm so glad that I missed out and passed up on the advanced suit in the Miles, because this is what I wanted.
It makes up for it big time.
They definitely made up for it with this. And
Second Brother's here.
Hell, Second Brother's here.
Shit, I haven't even heard him since I got here. What's up, man?
What's up, man? He's over there chilling.
Good to see you home.
And you know what? You know the dopest part about this is it's not an exclusive.
Serious? Well, hold on.
Go ahead.
That head sculpt, with the transformation is actually an exclusive, special edition exclusive.
It's a special edition, but at least I'll get.
It's not limited. It's not limited.
I'll get one or the other. That's all I care about. I'll get one or the other. I'm cool.
If ever I wished I missed out on a special edition, because I did get the advanced suit, and I was like, how would be trolling me, because I would have bought this in a millisecond over that. But I already paid for the advanced suit already, so I can't get this one.
And that red pops.
And here's the thing: as I put this up, since you brought it up, so Lael, I'm gonna take a stab at that question you asked, answering that as Mario did. And I agree. They're praise some of the other things that they're coming out with. They're being innovative. But yeah, there comes a point where I want more than just the Joker, more than Christian Bale, more than this iteration, that iteration. But you know what make me excited about this Joker or the NR Joker and being able to choose more? Could we get a Ra's al Ghul? Could we now start expect? Because he's not a minor character, Lael, in that first one.
Yeah.
And I tell you what, for Hot Toys, they got Qui-Gon
and a Scarecrow.
and a Scarecrow.
And a Scarecrow.
Now I can get even more excited about, okay, do another Joker. Because you're giving me those. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like if they fill the gaps, because there was coming a point, remember you and I were talking about this? It was almost like, we don't got Mace. We don't got Lando.
Yeah.
And they're kind of like, okay, you're giving us another this, another that. So it kind of changed the attitude a little bit. So I guess what I'm saying is I kind of know where you're going with it.
Yeah.
But I feel like
Jamie Tan brought up he just said something really good. His brothers, every collector that checks out, another checks in. Otherwise, companies ain't making nothing. Hey, that's true. That's 100% true. Like, as long as, because again, we got to remember, and I always think, and even when I said, I was like, well, here's the thing. For us, there's a rehash. But for a new collector, it's something they never had before.
Oh, yeah.
So there's always going to be that space. But for us that have been collected for a long period of time, it's just like, yo, come on, man. Like, y'all have the IP, play around with it. But speaking with John, he did say that, again, when you're getting these licenses, sometimes even with Warner Brothers, they're strict on what you can have, even within the license. So
going back to Jamie real quick.
Yeah, go, baby.
Is he? Can you pull up his comment again real quick?
I'm looking for it here, baby. I'll get it up there.
I just kind of have a theory.
Go ahead, go with your theory as I try and find it.
I think it's right under Mafias. It's like two under Mafias.
Or one
comment
around there. Yeah. Looking at his avatar, I wonder if my man is trolling us. He might be on the. Is he on the inside,
bro?
Trying to troll us here.
This is the one rehash.
Giving us a little clue.
This is the one rehash. This is the one rehash. This is the one rehash that if they did it, I would not complain.
Right. I mean, it's about due. It's about due, man. And that S is a symbol for hope, bro.
Kind of crispy too.
It's a crispy S. I definitely hope something's coming.
Definitely it is. It's a crispy S.
This is funny what Single Songwriter says, and I don't know if he says artisan. Rearrange the letters come out to as in art or in art. Howard has a plan. It's going. God, that is
artisan. That's nice. A good. I ain't seen Single Songwriter in a minute.
Right,
my guy.
It's good to have him in here.
Good to see you, man. Definitely, man. Supergirl 2.0. Yeah, we can.
This dude, Charlie. Come on,
man.
All
right, so Lane. Lane, are you getting this Spider-Man?
I want to get this Spider-Man, but I already have Advanced Suit on pre-order, so
man, you better
have to pass this one.
You better delete that and get this one.
Well, can I borrow the NRD back from you?
Well, I mean, Lane, that thing is limited. You'll have no problem moving that, so you can get this one.
Oh, this thing is sweet.
Here. I already sold my Venom to buy him.
All right.
I don't know,
this one right here, boy.
Dude, this thing is amazing. Like, you just need a Venom from the video game, and you'll be set. Like, you buy those two, and that's it. And get Miles, and boom, you're done with that line for that game. That's all you need.
How about posing this in between Venom and Carnage?
Ooh, that would be nice.
How about adding this? And I'm going to go newsman, and we're gonna get to that Anakin, but I got to bring up this because you were mentioning it. Another Iron Man. Suit up Mark 7. I dig this though, dude.
Real quick. No, Jamie, we weren't saying you're trolling in a way that is negative. We're saying that you're trolling in a way that S that you have there's your emoji right there. Are you saying that they could possibly give us Superman? Because if they do, brother.
Oh no, I just think Jamie's actually works for Hot Toys and just trying to get on a little That's what I'm saying. No trolling in the comments. I just think my man actually works for Howard.
Or Jamie, is this what they call you, baby?
The wizard.
Yeah, bro.
And so listen, another Iron Man. We got an Iron Man last week. We got a couple of Spider-Man last week. Got another Spider-Man here. Look, but this people dig these suit up versions, and what do you think? I mean, this is another Tony Stark, I believe, Brent, with rolling eyes function. This does look pretty sick, bro. I mean, what do you think of this head sculpt?
Look at that. Look at that head sculpt. Look at that. I mean, that looks like a real 5 o'clock shadow. I mean, the bone structure in the cheeks, a little shadow there. Obviously, the forehead, the little scowl look, rolling eyes. I mean, that's a beautiful looking head sculpt, in my opinion, right there. And tell you what, Tony Stark, Iron Man figures. I mean, I don't think too many people can get enough of those. So
No, they'll never stop, and I don't mind it. If you're an Iron Man fan, you're like, you're like a kid in a candy store. I mean, you're just happy with this. And then if you're a new collector coming in for when it comes out, you got a lot of choices. But the rolling eyes on the Tony Starks, like you got that one that just hit wait lists, and I'm forgetting which one it was, but then you get the other $650 version with the base or the diorama part of it still available. But now you're starting to get some Robert Downey Jr. with rolling eyes function, baby.
No, you are, and I'm interested to see, as new collectors come in, and these new collectors are coming in, and it's intersecting with this time where the quality of the figures are really, really going up, and I hope they can afford $500 a piece on figures, because we're I think getting to a place where that's going to become something that's going to be very normal going forward if this continues.
No, I agree. Second brother, what do you think of this Iron Man? What do you think of this head sculpt?
I think the head sculpt is on point. They could leave the junk pack on the back. They can leave that. I love the figure itself. But, eventually I love Iron Man. I collect all of them if I can. But eventually the well is going to run dry on this IP. It's going to run dry.
It seems like it's got to. I mean, no, I'm just because it's so many. My God.
Right.
I hear you.
Well, and some are sitting too, like that Silver Centurion armor up. That's almost $500.
Well, Lane, the armor is sitting, and we're getting another one of her. So, all right, Lane, what do you think of this figure? What is your impressions?
Well, as I typed in the chat, I don't think that the head sculpt is that good. I actually don't like this head sculpt that much. I think the Mark 7 looks fine. I think the Tony Stark looks pretty good. I'm honestly not really in love. I love the Mark 7. That's my favorite suit of the entire MCU Iron Man's, but I don't like this figure. I don't know what about it. It just did not grip me at all. And I've got several Iron Mans on pre-order right now. I think the head sculpt just looks off to me, as some people were saying. The mouth, I think the forehead just looks way too big on it. So it's this is kind of a miss for me. That's just how I'm looking at this figure. Oh, hey, Lael, one thing I did want to mention to you, and then I'm finished, Aries, is I know you got your comic show. You should talk about, because they just announced that Black Widow, Natasha Romanoff, is becoming Venom.
Venom, she's a new Venom. Yeah, we're gonna talk about that tonight. We're definitely gonna talk about that tonight.
And they just announced the Spider-Man event.
Yeah, it's the Gang Wars.
For 4 months or 5 months.
Yeah, so and she's gonna be Venom for a few months.
At least through all the end of 2024.
Yeah.
For that. But sorry, anyway. Go ahead.
Jamie says, brothers, no trolling, nothing but respect.
Yeah, that's what we talked. That's what we talked about.
Come on, my man. You are the man. And Lael,
yo,
what do you think of this Iron Man, bro? Give me your thoughts.
Well, okay, so I'll talk about the positive. I mean, there's a lot of positives in this piece.
I think so.
You know what I mean? It's positives with, again, now, are those seamless arms? Like seamless? Is that what we're getting with this? Like no joints on the
Really?
Is that?
Well, look at his right arm. Look at his right hand. Is there any? Is
there any
there, or
because we can't see? Hold on,
you know what? That kind of looks like there's a joint. Hold on.
There's a line.
Yeah, see that line?
Joint. So they just kind of they covered it up. So it's a joint, but it's definitely a decent looking figure. But I err on the side of everybody else when I say that. Yeah, it is. And when they say, with this, it was to be expected, because each year during Toy Fair exclusives, or even like this, the Hot Toys Summer Showcase, we can always expect that there's going to be an Iron Man figure. Like, that's just how it is. we can always expect to see one. You know what I mean? So that's to be expected as of right now. But and I'm not too much of a fan of the suit up version. I'm not. I'm not too much of a fan, especially with
Like
the
those ones they have out, like
yeah, with the Mark V suit up. You know,
Mhm.
I wasn't really fond of it as much. But this is a good, like I said, it's going to be good for somebody. I just
Good
don't
for
think
me.
I need it. You know what I mean? I don't know if I basically need it. If anything, I would have loved to basically have this Tony on his own. I would have. But you know, it is what it is because I have, you know, Pepper Potts and I like to actually have them, you know, kind of together and stuff like that. So but yeah, I mean, it is what it is, man. It's definitely a good piece to have for some, you know, for some people, but it's not something I need immediately. I guarantee you this piece is going to sit for a minute. Just like
Yeah.
every other suit up is sitting right now, this is going to sit for a minute. You'll be able to get your hands on it if you want it.
Well,
That's the only thing I can say.
and
But
Mike
yeah.
Litteris says this sculpt looks like me on drugs.
That's funny. That's funny. But hey, I got to get out of here, man, because I got to get ready for this next show here, and it's just in a few. But man, thanks for having me. I will be back next week if you're doing it.
Oh yeah,
great being around all the guys, all the fellas out here, man. Second brother, you know, El Professor Lane, my guy, Star Wars newsman. Always a pleasure to see you, my brother.
You as well.
Again, man, can't wait to talk to y'all again. So everybody have a good show. And I will talk to y'all again. You can catch in Aries on, I think it's 2025 that they're going to release Daredevil. So definitely you can catch him on Disney Plus.
That's right.
As the Kingpin. So yes, that's why he's been gone for a while on a hiatus. He had to do some reshoots before the strike. So glad to see you here, brother. And yes, we'll see you back again.
Doing some secret work with Filoni and Favreau.
Hell yeah, bro. You already know, man.
You know what's going on.
Yeah, man. All right, I'll talk to y'all later on, man. Peace
Good to
out.
have you in here, Lale. Always good to have the 1/6 scale, man, guys. Don't forget to subscribe to this guy, too. I'm sure a lot of you are, but I've always got the link to Lale within the video description, everybody. So show him the love. Go ahead and click on it. Lale, good seeing you. We'll see you next week, baby.
See you later, man.
All right, so guys, and Brent, I'm going to start this one off with you. And one that we've all been wanting to talk about. And part of the loot today, part of the coffee spillage today, part of what we're talking about today, oh my God, and Anakin Skywalker, as I'm flashing some different pictures on the screen. Here you go, baby. Anakin Skywalker, rooted hair version. And I'll be honest with you, for me with this rooted hair, it looks like Hayden Christensen is in my living room as I try to go ahead and pull it up on the screen right here as it's right there. He literally looks like, to me, he's sitting or ready to try and attack the Dark Jedi, which would be a mistake on his part. And
because it's like about ask you, are you a youngling? Please tell me if you're a youngling.
I'm gonna pull this off again. His hair is better than mine, and it's real. I mean, he's in the freak. I mean, Brent, this looks like a real person.
No,
I'm just saying. For me, it does.
No, it does, and I see that look on his face. Isn't that the look he had right before he flipped backwards in Revenge of the Sith and started the lightsaber duel with the Obi-Wan? You know, that he was in the foreground, Obi-Wan was in the background, and then he, you know, finally got pissed off enough, and then the duel began, and Padme was trying to not have it happen. I mean, if I remember right, that's the...
Well, he was Darth Vader then, which is interesting, because I know where you're going with this, but
exactly.
This is what he looked like. This is Darth Vader, even though it's Anakin.
Speech. I think he was giving the speech, if you're not with me, you're against me.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Well, right second brother, he was Vader then, wasn't he?
Yes. And that's something when Obi-Wan pretty much said, Siths, that's spoken like a Sith. Sith speaks in absolutes. It was during that dialogue where he turned and he basically made up his mind, like, I'm going to destroy you, pretty much.
Yeah.
It was all over his face.
It just looks like that. It looks like that look on his face, but it's a breathtaking figure, guys. I mean, this is, in my opinion, it's great. I mean, I could see where maybe there's a little bit too much hair, but hopefully there's a way to, like we were talking earlier, let's hope that the figure comes looking like that and can stay looking like that, right? I mean, that's kind of the key, if where we set these rooted hair figures and the environments we put them in is probably going to dictate whether, the hair can hold or whether it ends up losing itself. But that aside, I mean, this figure looks just drop dead gorgeous. And for people who missed out on the dark side Anakin, watching that figure go 700, 800 and above, and obviously even the other version, the regular version of the Hot Toys Anakin as well, is way up there in price. I mean, you might as well get this one for $500 and have it as a part of your collection if you need one for sure. I mean, I think it's absolutely outstanding. And I have a feeling that a rooted hair Obi-Wan from episode 3 is imminent as well.
Well, and I'd love to see one with this from Attack of the Clothes, from the Attack of the Clothes baby, because his hair in there, that whole 80s hair or whatever. But listen, for Laura, don't underestimate Anakin's power, baby.
You underestimate my power.
So, look at his hair there. Look at his hair there, second brother. I mean, he has many different looks when he's going through. You
underestimate my power.
I mean, they got the hair down, but
I mean, his hair in that clip looks like crap. That clip, because he's on lava. So I mean, the thing is do you want to dress up a doll, or do you want it to look real? That's what I'm saying with this rooted hair. It's hard for you. I'm going to play it one more time, second brother. You get my drift with this.
You underestimate my power.
Yeah, but one of their hairs is going to look like that over time. That's the thing with these rooted hair pieces, is just, to me, is a big experiment, because I'm looking at how's this thing going to look 5 years from now. Things degrade over time.
Kind of like leather, right? Or leather.
And if it's wool, over time, wool shrinks. Preferably if you're in an area that you got to deal with wool-eating bugs. That's another thing you have to think about with these, with these figures of this.
That's a really good point. Yep, because they do exist.
Yeah.
Well, and let me ask you this, because we're talking about this is what he looked like in that clip I just played, and what Brent was talking about, and what you were reiterating. So this is Anakin Skywalker, but is this Darth Vader? Could it be both? I guess what I'm saying is, could this, I mean, it's interesting that they didn't label this Darth Vader as well, because
I don't think it is. I don't think it is.
Because they didn't call him Darth Vader.
No, because his eyes haven't turned yellow, pretty much. I think this is where he was on the cusp. This is pretty much when he had the lightsaber battle with Dooku, and up to that point before he changed.
Mm-hmm.
So the dead giveaway is the yellow eyes. He doesn't have the yellow eyes.
So, do you think that there would be? I feel like you're going to get. Would you get a dark side version of this? And I mean, it
was smart for them to do 2 head sculpts like in art input.
I wish they would do it with this.
That would be smart to do that.
Mm-hmm.
It would be.
Mm-hmm.
Is it too late to do that? Or do we not know maybe if they're going to do that? Mario, what do you think?
Well, here's the thing. Would you rather have 2 head sculpts, or would you rather have an actual 2-pack of this thing? Light side and dark side together in one.
I'd be fine with the head sculpt, but
yeah.
Either one is fine.
Is it too late for them to do that? No. Will they do it? Probably not. I think history has proven that, or history has already shown that when they first released it. I'm looking at it right now. They gave us the light side first, and then everybody else said the same thing. The same conversation we're having right now is the same conversation we had back in the day. Why didn't we get this in the DX with the second head sculpt for a Sith Eyes version? And lo and behold, during Comic-Con later on, about a year later, that's what came out, was a dark side Anakin, and everybody was upset about that.
Dude, part of me, I feel like that they're going to do that, unless when they put this out, it's going to have something we don't know. But I'm not seeing it here. I'm not seeing.
what I would like about this artisan line, if this could represent a definitive version of a particular character, in this case, Anakin and both Darth Vader, in the sense that give us the rolling Sith eyes, give us a second head sculpt, with those Sith eyes and a paler skin, right? Or that, because that's what the Hot Toys ones. The dark side is a little bit lighter than the original one. But one of the things that upsets me too, considering that this is the premium offering, is that the only thing that's premium about this thing that I can see is just the head sculpt and the hair.
Yeah.
The rest of the body is still the same thing we got previously. The same leather parts, not real leather, which scares the shit out of me once again. which I wish they could have taken the initiative and say, hey, we're gonna go all in on this thing to really give you guys the best that we can offer. We're going to give you real materials. We're going to give you, real lifelike, which they are lifelike head sculpts with the hair, because to your point, a lot of these shots that they're showing right now, they look like the promo photos from back in the day when Revenge of the Sith was coming out. It looks just like it. It looks fantastic. But for me personally, I'm not sold on it just because of the fact that they're still using pleather materials, and it bugs me. So that's why I won't get it.
Leather's good enough for Crosshair, but not for Anakin.
Exactly right. They just did real leather for Indiana Jones. They gave it to Indy. They gave it to old man Indy, but they can't give it to Anakin.
Well, and this is AJ saying this is him debating to attack Palpatine or Windu. But they could have. They could have. I kind of agree, Mario. Lane, what do you think? I feel like we're going to get this, but then there's not a chance in hell we're not getting the dark side version. It's coming.
I think for me, what I should just do is buy the Attack of the Clones Padawan Anakin, remove the head sculpt, and attach my Clone Wars Anakin head sculpt to that body, and then I'd be good. I'd have the same haircut.
But this is a new head sculpt, though, isn't it, Lane? I mean, this is new.
Oh, well,
it looks so damn good.
It looks the same to me, to be honest. I'm looking at it right
now.
I'm
looking at mine too. I'm backing up a little bit. No, I think it's different, bro. I think it's different.
I think the paint apps are definitely updated.
You know what's different? Yeah. I think the eyebrow paint it's more like going down towards the tip of his.
Well, and plus too, we got professional photographers in good lighting that are really taking the best photos that they possibly can.
And it's been 4 or 5 years since the other ones came out, so you would hope there may be a little bit of improvement to it.
But Mario, to your point though, they are getting good at those paint apps though. Honestly.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It's a nice
Lane, are you getting this because you sold your dark side? No. No for Lane.
I've got the Clone Wars Anakin already.
Mario, are you getting this?
Probably not. I already have the original 2. I don't need this.
2, no. Second brother, you getting this?
I may probably take a stab at trying to get it, but I have both versions. I have the light side and dark side. It really doesn't, and then too, the price point to see what we're going to actually get. We see what we got here is a tease, but it may be some changes along the way. I'm still kind of on the fence. I would make an attempt to get. I'm not going to break my neck for it, and if I don't, I don't. I'm satisfied with what I got, but
So
I love this big experiment that they're doing with the rooted hair, and I use that term very, very loosely, experiment, because only time will tell. But the price point, the competition, direct competition with InArt is good. I hope they kind of go down with this innovation with other IPs. But I just don't hope they just, go this route and then start slacking on quality with the other stuff. I just hope that doesn't happen.
So, okay. So this one, I am going to break my neck over getting. So guys, help me out. What is the best way you think for the Dark Jedi to get this? Because if it's like that sideshow pool thing, I know I'm not going to get it because I never get anything.
All the other stuff that they've been doing, I'm going to tell you from the last debacle that they had with the Wonder Woman, and by me having it in my cart 3 consecutive times to get kicked out.
Yeah.
I can see 1 time, but 3 times getting kicked out. And I'm pretty much it's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah. And that's why I think their best bet again is to do the lottery system the same way that they did the D500 Iron Man. That's the most fairest way to actually get this to collectors that really want this thing, right? And at the same time, too, a bunch of flippers are going to try to go after this thing too as well. That's another thing.
yeah,
Everybody with their bots that's going to try to pick this up, and for those that really want it, there's a strong possibility you might not get it. So for me personally, I still think the lottery system is the best, is the most fair and square.
And when will it drop too is another question. And maybe that's something we should discuss, because traditionally when Hot Toys has posted photos like they did today on their Facebook page, that's the day that the piece is going to go up for pre-order. So you can pretty much expect it. I live in the Eastern time zone. So I just know sometime between 1 and 2 o'clock in the afternoon Eastern time, that figure is going to populate on Sideshow's page and I can go get it. None of these figures were there today. So what are we supposed to do? When do they,
I don't think till Friday.
Pop up at 3 a.m. this morning? I mean,
no, they'll give you a heads up. They'll give you an RSVP page with some information on it, and you'll be able to
do not depend on that RSP for them to email you or to text you. Do not depend on that, because the last debacle of that Wonder Woman, those RSPs and those text messages that go out to 8 minutes after the fact it was released.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow. But they'll just give you a heads up that this is when it will possibly come out. Yeah. So
they've broken their rhythm here with this in terms of, okay, here's your photos. You wake up in the morning and you see these new figures and you're excited. And then 6 or 7 hours later, you're able to pre-order the figure if you want to get it day one, and you're done. And now we don't know when this is going to drop.
Well, no, but this is with Summer Showcase, which starts at the end of the week. So I think it'll be Friday or next week. And also they're exclusive, some of these. So they're going to probably do like how they did before, where they're going to set a day and time on different days. I wouldn't be surprised for these. So I think the earliest we'll see them is Friday, because that's when Summer Showcase starts.
This is one I really, really want to get. I mean, this for me, I'm collecting a lot of the different Hot Toys now, but for me, for this one, Star Wars fan, I gotta have this. I really, really do. And I actually don't have. I have the Dark Side Anakin, okay, and I'm gonna get the Attack of the Clones Anakin, for instance, guys. But I actually don't have the regular Anakin. I have the Dark Side, so I'd much rather have this than the same Dark Side version, because this will be way different. Because of the sculpted hair.
That makes sense for you. That definitely makes sense for you to do that in your case.
And I think Mario Laura said that, I'll have to read the description, but she said, she read the Hot Toys thing and said it was a new sculpt. So I guess it is.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
I mean, it's interesting. But yeah, that lottery thing, I'm not really, I tried to get the Wonder Woman. Now there are other options, guys, second brother. Like I could have got the Wonder Woman a couple different ways. I just didn't do it. But I feel almost inclined with this one. I'm going to have to.
And if you have the cash, but is the thing that Lael pointed out is the pull with Sideshow is that you have a guarantee if something happens, or at least it's some recourse if something happens. But it was like if you go to overseas seller, it's like a shot in the dark, and then you're like, Lord, if something happens, you get in your product. Or you get your product that's safely delivered, or when you have issues, being able to return and to get your money back. So, it depends on how bad you want it. I think somebody already posted it. I can't remember which was it. I can't remember which retailer is selling it at $600 already.
All right. Wow. All right. I'm going to pivot to this. Brent, I'm going to go to you with this now. I got to bring this up. There's so much to talk about, but I've got to bring this up, okay? And it'll be a little interesting to discuss this. I thought we weren't getting anything from The Mandalorian Season 3. I thought The Mandalorian Season 3 sucked, even though I was bringing in all the Neilson data that suggested otherwise, okay? And actually, the finale of that show destroyed the finale of The Mandalorian Season 2. But there was some type of belief that Howard was somehow going to skip The Mandalorian and just go right to Ahsoka. And there's no debate on Ahsoka now, because whether it stinks or not, they already put up their little banner saying, by the way, we're doing this line. So we already know we're getting Ahsoka figures. But geez, dude, what happened? because all of a sudden we are getting a ton. And look at these. What have I been saying? More and more announcements and lower production of these announcements and more. We just got our 5D4.
Yep.
And now we're getting him again a cleaner version. We have the armor
Is
in
that
stock.
really a cleaner version though, or is it just the lighting that's making it look clean?
You know, I think it's cleaner, but unless the lighting's like super, and I don't know much about lighting, Mario. Maybe you're right. It does look clean to me. It does look a lot cleaner on that one, but damn, dudes.
No, because somebody pointed out the possibility that, hey, the fact that we're getting a clean R5, why couldn't they take this clean R5 and put it in N1 that we're not getting? By the way,
I knew you were setting me up.
I was waiting for Alpro to bring that up again.
What have I started?
Maybe we're getting a third one, Barry.
No, man.
Three different SKUs and ones. Yeah, that'll be great.
But I mean, look, and I'm not even, I mean, look at all this that's up in here. You got the female Mandalorian, you got the male Mandalorian, you got another armor. Please, God, do not have screws in the bottom of these.
Why are we getting another armor?
Well, I was going to ask that same question, Mario. I mean, why
do we get another heavy infantry Mandalorian?
What's different about it? What makes
the chest plate?
That one? Okay,
and the helmet. It's different shine.
Is it like a chromish version or something?
It's
like
more accurate to season 3 because of the lighting and she was outside than in previous episodes.
Will they include a rocket pack for her? Because that would be the biggest thing that would make her different is if she had her jetpack.
Probably, I say yes, but honestly, if they don't improve the screws, I'm going to be really disappointed. I don't like it.
Who enjoy the Mandalorian characters and all the random Mandalorians are certainly going to love these two to the left and the right here. I mean, they're not for me. I'm not going to get them, but
same here.
You know, I just got no room for them. But certainly, if you want to create a scene where you've got all the Mandalorians, I mean, those are certainly figures that you're going to want to get. So. And why didn't they show the rooted hair Bo-Katan in this picture? I mean, they didn't show the Moff Gideon that they teased. We're going to talk. So here's what you got, Brent. They
didn't show the N1 either. I'll tell you.
Well, Moff Gideon might
another zinger.
Well, I think the Moff Gideon we'll probably see later this week, maybe. I think we're going to see him in part of the
Well, let's count here. Let's count. We got. Obviously, the Grogu with IG-12, right? You got another armor. You got to be kidding me. That's 2. You got the heavy infantry Mandalorian, which is why they do that. That's 3. You got this Mando 4. You got that Mando 5. You got this R5D4 6. Now let me kind of paint a little bit of a story for you here. Even though it's a bigger scale, you've got this coming in full size. That's 7. Right, and then I think we got.
Is that full size or oversized?
No, I think it's full size. Right,
1/1 scale. It's supposed to be.
Wouldn't they be smaller in 1/1 scale? I think they look really damn big. I could be wrong, but just to me, I thought they were smaller.
All I want to know is that in 2025, I want to see that head popping up on like Mario's right or left of his shoulder every stream.
You got it for me, Lane. We might make that happen.
and you got Grogu, the full size one, another one, which is 8. You got the rooted hair Bo-Katan, which would be 9. And then you're getting this freaking what is that? The Moff Gideon, right? That tease with that. Yeah, I think try to pull it up here. Is this it? On the screen? Is this it?
Yeah. Yes, that's it.
Dude, so Moff Gideon. Cool. Okay.
So Brent, what happened with this? That's a lot of figures.
Well, I don't know. I mean, like you said, I don't think a lot of Star Wars fans really embraced Mando season 3. I don't think that it was the most popular, obviously, of the 3 seasons, but it almost feels like, Hot Toys is contractually obligated to put out figures from this line. where, I mean, we're still in the 40th anniversary of Return of the Jedi. We haven't seen anything new from that. I was hoping to see on May 4th we'd get a few, but still, even though we're now past San Diego Comic-Con, we're now past Sideshow Con, and still no 40th anniversary Return of the Jedi. But again, that's another conversation perhaps. But this is a figure that I will be passing on as well. I've got the first Moff Gideon figure. That's enough for me to represent him amongst my Mandalorian collection. I knew that they were gonna. I mean, I think everybody knew that they were going to come out with this version of him, the armored version of him. So, not a surprise that this dropped, and I'm sure there will be an upgraded, better head sculpt underneath that helmet too. So it'll be fun to see. But man, they really went for it. I mean, 10 figures, a 1/1 scale Babu Frick. I mean, they're treating season 3 like it's one of the greatest live action Star Wars content that we've seen thus far.
Well, and we don't even have a Mando yet. And I can tell you right now, from the Wizard's crystal ball, we're getting another Mando. I don't know what kind of Mando. Maybe one that's going to fit in that N1, Mario.
Oh no! I'll tell you what you're going to get. You are going to get another Mando, but you're going to get it with the accessories that go with the what was it? That Grogu set that has the Beskar Trooper weaponry. I think we might get something like that.
But Mario, couldn't we get a Mando finally that has that's die cast or something different? Couldn't we get something different at this point? Because we got how many versions now? Well,
you know what? I could have sworn that I saw an actual cleaner version of the Mando that's not as weathered. So maybe whether it's diecast or not, is another question. But the fact that they can give us a weathered up Mando for season 2 and possibly a clean one for season 3, I wouldn't be surprised if they did that. So
another figure too from Mando season 3 that they did not announce that I think this would have been a perfect place to do it with Casca Reeves shipping would have been an updated Axe Woves with a head sculpt.
Yeah.
Well, and
a lot of people are bitching and moaning about not having that to go with their other 2 figures that have head sculpts. It just looks ridiculous.
It's an opportunity that they didn't throw it in this accessory set. That would have been perfect.
Right, exactly.
Brad, what you gonna do when you wake up with this summer showcase because it's not over yet, and they show you what you're gonna do when another Axe Woves comes like the armor, but this one has a head sculpt. Did you buy the first Axe Woves? Because you're probably going to be pissed off.
I did buy the first Axe Woves. Yeah.
So do you buy this one, baby?
Well, here's
because I think they're going to do it. I'm just saying, you're right here at the cantina.
They have to do it. Yes, and I don't know why they didn't do it originally. Could they not get the likeness of that actor in time? I mean, I don't know what the issue is. I mean, and the question is, since they're doing these weird accessory packs now, they're just, here's IG-12 with, accessories for 6 other figures in it, I mean, when this rooted hair Bo-Katan comes out, is that where you get an Axe Woves head sculpt to pop on the one that you have? I mean, I don't know what they're. I think they have to make one. He had a pretty significant part, whether you like Mando 3 or not. I mean, he he just didn't stand there like he did in the background in season 2 and in certain scenes. I mean, he was involved, and I think you need to have a head sculpt for that character so that those 3 who are together, they're a band of 3, they look alike, right? They look like, but maybe, it's not over yet. You said it, Aries. It's not over yet.
No, because here's the thing. Give me a reason, Brett, and we're going to go around here. Give me give me a business reason if you're in a boardroom or why they shouldn't put it out. Except if you're going to tell me it's because it's going to piss somebody off, they're just giving you another armor. They're giving you another a heavy infantry Mandalorian.
Right.
Of course, they're going to give you another Bo-Katan here.
Yep.
They're going to give you, people won't believe this either, but you're getting another Casca. You won't get Fennec because she wasn't in this. But 100% they're going to give you a Casca. I'm not saying it's going to be rooted hair. Maybe it'll have rolling eyes function. It could be a little bit different. But give me a reason why they wouldn't do it.
Well, I don't think, I don't think I can.
A license. If you could tell, if you're going to say to me because of license, Or are you going to say because that there's a problem with securing some resins or some aluminum because that's up and all that kind of jazz? I could buy that. If you're going to tell me because your feeling says no, that makes no sense. I'm telling you right now.
My gut tells me is they didn't. I don't know the actor's name of Axe Woves. I wish I knew that actor's name. I suppose I could Google it, but maybe it was a licensing likeness thing. Maybe they didn't get it. But then again, this guy isn't Harrison Ford. You know, with all due respect to him.
Exactly. That's why it wouldn't be.
You know, it's not like he's like the most known actor face out there. I mean, I don't think, you know, if I bumped into him at a gas station, I wouldn't know who he was probably, you know, whereas Harrison Ford, if I saw him walking down the street, I'd know immediately who he was. So you're dealing with a licensing likeness issue there that's completely on a different level. But, you know, I mean, I don't know. I think the Axe Woves figure came out around the same time as the first version of Bo-Katan did. So, but they gave her a head sculpt and they didn't give him one. So basically, he's just another random Mandalorian. You know, there's nothing special.
Well, and I didn't buy him, but I'm getting Fennec. I got Casca, Bo-Katan. I'll get this Bo-Katan with rooted hair. I would get it. I would get Axe Woves if they give it to me with a head sculpt.
Right.
It doesn't make sense to me to pose it with the Bo-Katan and Casca because I'm not posing those with the helmet on because they're just too damn good. But it's crazy. But second brother, let me go to you with this here. As Ash says, give me Humpty Dumpty, baby. Hey,
Wow.
you have to wonder. I don't know. Maybe Favreau's bringing in Humpty Dumpty into here.
Have a great fall, man.
But well, yeah. But thank you so much for the $2, buddy. I do appreciate it. But second brother, I don't necessarily have a problem with all these and these reissues if they can mix it in with joy, which always changes things. Can I get a Grief Karga?
Yeah.
Can I get something that is really meaningful to add to the collection? Because Lael brought it up earlier. Hey, are we tired of all these Jokers, all these Christian Bales? But if you can mix in some of the stuff like Prey that they're doing and some of the other things like Mario mentioned, or you can mix in like a Ra's al Ghul, or you could give me a Grief Karga. I mean, he's been in every damn season. Please give me that figure. Then, you know, all of this is good to me. Go ahead, baby.
Yeah, I mean, it's all good, but like I was saying before, like with the Iron Man, eventually the well is going to run dry because you just pretty much okay, here comes another Iron Man. And when you put out too much, it takes the shine off the other ones that people spend years to collect and certain special armors that people like. But you know, if there's some improvements, good for the improvements. But you know, I'm kind of burned from the different Mando armors that they brought out and the speed that they brought them out. They didn't space them out enough. They come from Beskar to the ultra polished one, and now here it is. You have a Bo-Katan that really don't have that much of a difference except for the rooted hair. And then you have a young lady that's out there that's doing fantastic work with rooted hair that looks better than the Hot Toys product. And hopefully they take heed to that and, you know, make some corrections. But I think with everyone's talking about Axe Woves, that was a missed opportunity. But Hot Toys was on point by putting that IG-88 with the different accessories to it. And, you know, I think that is a smart thing for them to do. And I think they need to continue it because we have a situation like Axe Woves where you could put out something else to justify, you know, it would, I would say that it would have more attraction for the purchase of Grogu, how the way they did that because of the accessories, let alone just coming out a whole new figure. Because if you come out a whole new figure, you're running the risk of it sitting. So the route that they go on is still kind of in the air. But, you know, I've never been a fan of 2.0s. Unless it was absolutely necessary, like they did some significant changes to it. But just, you know, who knows these days?
But you know what, second brother? I'm a fan of this, though.
Yeah, we've been talking about
Jeez.
that. They teased that thing. Was that 2015? They teased it.
2015. Yep, at Anaheim Celebration.
Oh.
Years.
So we're talking about Brent's talking about where's the 40th, but here's a New Hope though. Jeez, I'm definitely gonna get this. And
Yeah, so am I.
I mean that is freaking sweet.
Yeah,
Because you can turn around and put your Stormtrooper Han and Luke next to that with Chewie. There's so much you can do with that. So, like, I hope they make it. I hope they make it.
Yeah, because they're so Mario. Do you think this is coming? Because here it is again, but now with this base. I mean, talk to me, baby.
I don't know. This thing's been sitting in purgatory for years. I have little faith that this will actually come out.
I think when they showed the pictures of this in 2015, there was only one section of the command center. It wasn't this big circle.
I think you're right. I think you're right.
And I also, if you expand the photo out, Aries, or maybe look at one of the other photos, you can see poles coming out of the back that have those speakers or those cameras that they shot out before they ran down the corridor.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know,
if I could get to it,
going to take up space. I mean, that, you know, if that comes, it's almost like it's a figure with an environment, you know. And
you can almost do so much.
Do you think they maybe redid this as Return of the Jedi? Because we did see him on the Death Star and similar things like this too, in some sets. So that could be slightly changed up and redone to fall under the Return of the Jedi.
I was trying to find that, but I found this.
Yeah.
This is the only thing I really care about. Like all the rest of that stuff, Spider-Man, you guys, and all that stuff. Everybody can get excited for that. This is what I want. Like,
so Lane, does this mean that does? So you're getting this, right, Lane?
Oh yeah, I'm buying. It's a new Stormtrooper. It's a dewback. I mean, you can put them on it. You can put your Luke Skywalker disguise. You can put like Tusken Raider on it. Probably it doesn't matter as long as it's got flexible legs.
Let me ask you this:
and it's a new Stormtrooper.
Does this mean that this is coming, baby?
You're delicious. Ciao, boys.
Well, if you're asking me, would I actually?
And really, I mean Jabba. I mean, not Pizza the Hut.
No, nah, I don't know. Just give me the dewback. I would take the dewback over Jabba the Hutt any day of the week.
Well, listen. Let me ask you a question. So I love this with the predictions. Now I'm going to throw this out. Give me your reason, since they're putting out these bigs, why they wouldn't put out a Jabba. Would Jabba sell? Yes or no for Hot Toys? Would people buy a Jabba?
It sold for Sideshow. Why wouldn't it sell for Hot Toys?
Exactly. Yeah. So why wouldn't they put it out?
Yeah.
If they had a Ula or Hut Slayer later to go with it, I'd buy it.
Oh, don't even get me going, baby. I still think it's coming.
Before we see an N1, bro.
Maybe they'll have Hut Slayer later. It's riding the N1 anyway. Go ahead.
Or is in like the little insignia, you know, like the old World War II planes that could be on the side there, as like insignia on it. But this is the thing. Actually, I was most interested in. Now, am I completely sold that they'll pull the trigger on this because of I think how badly the blurg did? Now, I'm not comparing the blurg necessarily to the dewback in importance to longer time Star Wars fans. Obviously, I think the dewback is more relevant because it's original trilogy. But but I mean, we would probably say for creatures that had people ride them even more than the dewback, a lot of people would probably tell you they want a Tauntaun because that's like something you know.
Baby. They just
and if they're doing I'm not jumping that they're going to do that, but I'm just saying for even creatures, probably for people would take a die for that might be a little bit more expensive, like a Tauntaun with Commander Luke Skywalker, in his full gear, or a Commander Han Solo in Hoth gear. Like they would buy those more. Like if it's $700, people would be more willing to fork over the money for something like that.
So I want to go to you. Good stuff, Lane. Brett, I want to go to you, or actually, let me go to you, Professor, with this because I missed you there. We're getting Loki in the throne. Another Loki. So give me a reason why they wouldn't give us Vader from the Obi-Wan series on the throne. Because that's the first thing I thought of when I saw this, dude, the first thing I started thinking of was they seem to be infatuated with this throne stuff. And that's the first thing that started going through my head was, you know what? We're going to wind up getting here a Vader with the throne, because I don't know why you wouldn't. You only got half a Hayden Christensen head sculpt, and it's battle damaged, and it's really, really cool. But it's half a head sculpt, and I love Loki, and it'll sell. But I'm telling you, this will sell too.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they'd have no problem at all selling this with a full Hayden head sculpt. Go, Mario.
I wonder, because I heard somewhere that Loki was a statue.
Yeah, I read it was a statue.
Really?
Yes. So how would you feel if they released Vader on the throne as a statue?
I would try to spill my coffee, but then I'd probably have to put it in the microwave.
Wow.
What a hot toy statue! What a hot toy figure!
Well, I was
Nothing
gonna
against
say,
statues. It's cool, but I could,
I was going to say, if it's a statue, you can already buy. I mean, Iron Studios is putting out a Vader on the
course.
Well, look, I would have got the Gina Carano Cara Dune if I wanted premium format.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's the thing. Just because I heard the fact that the Loki one is an actual statue, they could easily do the same thing with the with this one. Look, they did the Bruce Wayne armory, the Bruce Wayne figure itself in the armory set. That's basically a statue, isn't it?
You know, it's kind of funny you bring that up. That is a good point, because they're calling it, it's like a figure, but I don't think, is that even posable? That figure is parts of it posable. That Christian Bale.
Maybe the head might swivel. Maybe, I don't know. But as far as I'm concerned, that's basically a statue.
Well, the way back, you know, the old Alien versus the old Predator figures, the Elder Predator on Throne was basically, I think, like a PVC piece where it was a solid piece, where almost like a statue kind of thing where he was sitting on that. So I don't think that would, I mean, that's, you know, in ancient history for Hot Toys these days, but I think that guy was supposed to be a PVC piece, like on it, the Elder Predator on Throne. So they've done something like that, I think, before. But that looks like for that Loki, it looks like it's the head sculpt from the President Loki.
It does. Yeah, it does.
Yeah, and here's something else, Brent. I'm going to pivot this to you. Look at this, another Mantis. The other one just went on wait list. People are like, are we really going to get the Drax? They're showing it right there in that outfit. You're getting all the Guardians of the Galaxy here for the Guardians of the Galaxy 3. So, Brent, give me a reason with a new Gamora, which they're not teasing in here, and with that wool hair like the Wonder Woman, would that sell or not sell? Go, baby.
I think it would sell. I mean, you know,
especially with these limited runs, everything's kind of limited.
I think
so. Why wouldn't they put that out?
I think everybody thinks everything is limited, and everybody's just going to jump on everything because they don't know how long they're going to have to buy it. And I think, especially with Guardians of the Galaxy, now that they're putting the entire, like you said, the entire run out there. I mean, you want to complete the set, you got to have them all, right?
They're not showing her, but she was a pivotal part of Guardians of the Galaxy 3. I can't imagine that they wouldn't revisit that again. And I'm thinking she's a candidate for the wool hair. I'll be honest with you. I know it was just a cameo. Give me a reason why they wouldn't put out Michael Rooker and Yondu again. Give me a reason, business-wise, why they wouldn't. I'm not saying whether we want it or not, but how would that sell? Because that goes for what, $600-700 in a secondary market.
I can't give you a reason. I mean,
Yondu sell or not? They sell 3,000 Yondus?
I think it's imminent, and who knows? Maybe we'll see it. Maybe we'll wake up tomorrow morning or Wednesday morning, and we'll see pictures of it. Right?
So he has been rumored to be one of the figures coming for showcase at Yondu from Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah,
I heard some rumors. So he is one that's been talked about at 2.0. So I don't think he'd be off the beaten path thinking that.
No. So, second brother, what do you think about Yondu? if you're Hot Toys, you put it out or you don't put them out. Does it sell or not sell?
At this point, probably not.
I mean,
do it.
It's almost hell. It's like hell to get a Drax and a Gamora. So
the Drax is super high, but here you go. So Mario, what's the chances that they don't put some of these out? Go, baby.
Oh, dude, they're gonna put everything out. They're soliciting the entire team. They've teased us over and over again with the entire team. They're coming. They're coming. I know. I'm pretty sure they're coming.
So let me ask you this then, second brother, going back to you.
Mhm.
Do they wait for the next Guardians for Adam Warlock, or they put out a limited one? I'm talking about now, like you got some of these figures that are coming out, like that are just going on wait list. You got Doc Ock wait list. You got Electro wait list. You got Green Goblin wait list. You got Valkyrie wait list. You got Mighty Thor wait list. You got the Grand Inquisitor wait list. So do they take the? I think personally, they give you Adam Warlock now. Here's why. You know they're going to give you one of him whenever they put out the new movie in a couple years or a few years. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So why not invest in the R&D now and say, okay, I'm going to give you the version now. And then we know that we can't sell that many of this economy, but we'll hold on to some of that R&D. And when the new one comes out, we give you another Adam Warlock. That's why I think Grievous, honestly, some people think I'm nuts, but for the Clone Wars, why not put him out now? Because you got an excuse with the 20th of the Clone Wars, and then reuse it again, a different version for the Revenge of the Sith, because you're going to put him out for Revenge of the Sith. And my argument on that is, you got K2SO, you just did KX Enforcer Droid. You got C-3PO attacking the clones, you just got Return of the Jedi. Grievous not in a whole lot like C-3PO. Same thing with that KX Enforcer Droid, so put him out now. But that's my theory with him and Warlock. Go, baby.
Well, the thing is with Warlock, you almost, I'm sorry, because I'm trying to watch the Guardians, and what I saw of Warlock, I wasn't impressed compared to what I read in the comics.
Mm-hmm. A lot of people felt that way.
Yeah, and they've taken a huge gamble if they bring out an Adam Warlock. And probably what people would do if they're completionists, they would probably get it to complete this particular set here. But for him as a standalone, no, I don't think he didn't carry enough strength in the movie and enough character presence to make somebody, if it comes out, oh my God, I have to get it.
Yeah.
No, I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah, Aries, and I think to his point, I don't think it'd be in Hot Toys' best interest to actually invest that kind of money in R&D when there's so much other stuff that's actually hot and that will sell right now, instead of taking the gamble to say, hey, perhaps this will sell later down the line when it could possibly be better received, because that's a huge gamble, bro. There's so much stuff going on right now in the present time, and also that's already been done and established that they still need to bring out. You know,
that is a great point, guys. You guys are right.
Talking about, and like we were talking about now, I'd rather for them to put the R&D, and we were just talking about Vader on the throne. They could turn around and make a throne and put it out like they did T'Challa with his throne.
Yeah. Yep.
They could do the exact
100.
same thing, and the damn thing would sell. It would sell quick. And actually, what it would do, it would increase the sales on the Vader that's already on pre-order.
That's already waitlisted, bro.
All that stuff's already waitlisted. So, either way, if you own a Vader, that's money on the table that Hot Toys can make by just putting that throne out alone.
And if they don't do it, I'm gonna ask Uncommon Flesh to hook it up, man. He's doing the one for Leo for Bo-Katan. I want one for Vader, homie. So Ty, we're gonna get in touch, bro.
Jedi Chris says, give me a younger Clone Wars Bo-Katan. Katie Sackhoff did do the voice for that. Yeah. That would be interesting. That would be interesting if they would do that. I'm going to close with this, guys. And Brent, I'm going to pivot to you. This, and a lot of you follow, and if you didn't, with all this heat, I did put out a market show this Sunday, like I usually do. So check it out. If you didn't see it, everybody who's watching here today, but I'll be coming out with another one this weekend. But you talk about one of the figures that hit waitlist and is now starting to sell out in a lot of the other comic stores. And Ray, who's in the chat, Hawk Wars Toys, I was talking to him about this. But at least right now, unless they make other batches with all these waitlist stuff, which I talk about every week, they could. You just don't know. But right now, they're waitlisted. This is gone. Brent, this is a DX. Okay, let's not mistake that. A DX Ahsoka that's waitlisted, and I think is going to go through the roof as this series starts getting ready to come out over here. And they just advertised Hot Toys collectibles coming soon for Ahsoka. What are you expecting from this series? Go, baby.
Well, I think we're definitely going to get another version of Ahsoka, but I agree with you that the DX version that came out, the live action from Mando season 2 and season 2, excuse me, is certainly going to be, and from Book of Boba Fett, that figure is going to skyrocket as this series plays out. But I do think we're going to get another version of her. I think we're going to see her in some different type of clothing, or there's going to be something to newly accessorize her with. I mean, she's going to be in every episode, so we're going to see a lot of different things. I think we're going to get a Thrawn. I think we're going to get an Ezra. I think we're going to get a Sabine Wren. I think we're going to get a Chopper droid. It wouldn't surprise me if Hera Syndulla.
That's a half dozen right there. You just listed off.
Hera Syndulla. I mean, you're basically, it's going to be the Rebels,
that's 7. Live action series.
Right. And, I think all of these characters, we saw them in the trailer. I mean, every one of them was featured in the trailers, so they're going to be a part of the story.
And I'm going to throw this out at you because you know who's going to show up in one of the episodes, right? The Mandalorian. Fett. Well, probably the Mandalorian's going to show up.
Yeah, and we might see Luke Skywalker.
Oh, you're definitely going to see Luke.
Yeah,
you might get an Anakin in this. You want to talk about? You might
get an Anakin in this. There might be flashbacks of some scenes that they're continuing in the animated versions, and they're going to make them in now, and it could be, I mean, right there. What do we have? Are we up to 10? 12 figures. I mean, you
just got 10 from the Bando.
And the dewback drop tells me if there's a creature in this, some sort of a creature that Ahsoka rides or whatever, maybe they make her with it.
I think there's a ton of, and honestly, Mario, you know what I think they're going to do here? I'm going to make a call. I do think we're going to get another 6-scale Ahsoka.
Oh yeah, I think so too.
But I'm going to say it like this: is it possible that we're going to get a quarter scale Ahsoka Tano? And I say yes. What do you think, Mario?
I don't see why not. I mean,
I'd buy it. I
think, look, the 6-scale Mando Ahsoka looks incredible, and I think on a larger canvas, I think it's something they can excel at. They can just show off their artistry even more so with that particular figure and quarter scale. So yeah, I have no. I can get on that same train with you. Look, I was at what I saw at Comic-Con this weekend in the Ahsoka booth got me hype. Seeing all the different lightsabers from all the different characters, seeing some of the other props that were there, and for me being yelled at because I got too close to one of them that I almost knocked something over. I could have knocked something over. So yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to this series, man. It's basically Rebels, season 5 or season 6 in live action. So yeah, I'm looking forward to see what's coming out, man. And plus, too, to capitalize on the HasLab Ghost as well, dude. Oh my gosh, there's just so much. There's just so much Rebels good stuff coming out, man. I'm definitely excited for this show next month.
Well, Lane, good stuff, Mario. A single song writer.
I'm going to be the Deborah. I'm going to be the Debbie Downer here.
Listen, but wait, Dark Side of Anakin has seen in the Ahsoka series, baby. Oh my,
the wizard.
Be the Debbie Downer, Lane. Give me a reason why we're going to get one figure from the Ahsoka. But go ahead.
No, we're not getting one figure from this. But I think this is going to fall within the range of probably Obi-Wan, where it'll be like 6 figures.
Well, dude, we're not done with Obi-Wan, right? Look, we're gonna get
that ship has sailed and sunk,
dude.
Has it though?
Has it really? I'm grabbing something here. Keep talking later, Mario.
I mean, that's like saying like the Empire series of figures is done.
Here, let me kind of blow this up here. See if you can see me. I've got my crystal ball. Some of you recognize special crystal ball here. And I'm looking into my little Palantir, my BB Palantir, and wait a minute. I see Vader in the throne. I see from the Obi-Wan series lane. I also see Obi-Wan in that outfit from the end in there as well. And wait, I see an Anakin from there as well, and an Obi-Wan, another Obi-Wan. The crystal ball says we're not done. Anyway, keep going.
That ship has sailed. I think I'm very much, because I don't think Obi-Wan was as well received either. So I think Ahsoka has all the things set up where it could be. We could maybe. I think we're going to see about 6 figures from it, somewhere, or maybe up to 8. But I mean, even that's a ton for Hot Toys to do for one of these.
Yeah, so you're calling 6 or 8. I'm going to call 12 or 15. Brett, how many? Brett, how many are you calling?
You're thinking it's going to do
You've got. He just mentioned all the rebels. Go, Brett. How many do you think are getting?
No, I think we're going to see 10. I mean, you're going to get a Thrawn. Okay, there's never been the only 1/6 scale Thrawn that has ever been made that I know of is the Sideshow one from about 10, 11 years ago that came with the throne, and there were only 750 of those available worldwide. So if you didn't get in on that pre-order for that thing, you didn't get it. Now you could, you're buying that thing right now for $1,500 on the secondary market. It's ridiculous. So we're going to get one from this, and I think we're going to get Ezra Bridger. And I think
you're going to get Chopper.
Yeah.
Sabrine.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why I'm saying, ladies, there's quite a lot there. I don't see them passing up on.
Syndulla.
Hera, exactly. I don't know. How many do you think, Mario?
I'm guessing 8, 7 to 8, including everyone you just mentioned, along with Thrawn and the 2 Dark Jedi or Gray Jedi or whatever they are.
Oh yeah, him.
Yeah, so
that's right.
Yeah,
dude. And you might get.
But that's an outstanding lineup. That's a lot for Hot Toys to do for the Disney Plus series. If you actually look at the Marvel and Star Wars ones that we've had, that's a lot. That'd be a lot of figures for them.
If Ahsoka is well received, I'm pretty sure that they'll do at least a minimum of those 8 figures, plus any troopers that may come along in that damn show.
What if we actually
unique troopers too? You're right, Mario. There's going to be unique troopers that we haven't seen in Trooper Cell, so they're going to make those.
Yep.
Let's go ahead and end with this prediction: a wooled hair exclusive Dark Side fulfill your destiny.
Talk about a ship that's already sailed, man. Jeez, no way.
You mean finally, Ares gets that Ray Palpatine that he always really, really wanted.
How about this quarter scale of this guy?
Blow that piece of junk out of the sky! All fighters!
They teased it.
I know
a long time ago, but that was the Force Awakens version. No,
that was before that. Whatever it was called, where nobody was allowed to make anything anymore from the sequel movies. It just all shut down, and nothing was ever made again. And I still want my Poe Dameron, by the way, but I don't think I'm going to get it.
Aries, if you're going to play more sequel clips, I'd say don't bother, because I think we're all going to say no. So, yeah.
Poe Dameron, why can't I get my Oscar Wilde head sculpt for my Moon Knight? That's like the only kind of downside to that figure.
Well, you can get it through So-So, isn't it?
Here's one thing you can't deny. As I fill up OG fan, who may still be in here, but we're going to get another one of this.
I'm Boba Fett. I'm here to see the mayor.
Boba Fett. Do you have an appointment?
I smell some 100th coming Disney stuff. I smell some 40th Return of the Jedi stuff coming. I smell some phone calls from the Hot Toys wizard looming very, very soon.
You know who's going to be our Star Wars 100th from Disney for 100th anniversary? You know who's going to be Jar Jar Binks?
Oh, please don't. I'd rather have a Mickey Mouse in a Jedi robe than a Jar Jar. No. You know what? Bring Jar Jar. Bring him. I want a Jar Jar in the collection, actually.
No, but have where you can stick the headpiece, like the cloak over him, so he can be from the episode of Clone Wars. He was.
Oh, you want a Darth Jar Jar?
What would be apropos for Star Wars? Because it wouldn't exist without him. What about a 100th George Lucas?
Ooh.
Yeah. Would he give his likeness rights though? He may not like what Disney's been doing over that.
One with an angry face when he's handing over the contract to Bob Iger to give away Lucasfilm 12 years ago. That one.
Or can we get like an original trilogy, George Lucas?
Oh,
directing the first Star Wars series movie?
Cool.
That'd be nice.
I tell you what, dudes, I did so much of this freaking stuff here last couple weeks.
I could imagine how you were this morning.
Oh my God. I'm just, I mean, it's so much. And I'm going to end it asking you guys this. We'll go with Brent first. Is this the last we're going to see with this summer? Is this the last, or is there more? When does this end? I mean, I don't know, the next week or two. Is this just all of it, or is there more with this summer showcase? Go, baby. What's your call?
No, I think there's going to be more. I think some of the figures that we were discussing here tonight are going to, we're going to see drop this week, and not necessarily rooted hair, but, I mean, where are the other, I forget, there were, was it second, third brother? There were two other of those that were announced last fall. They haven't dropped yet. And we're waiting, still waiting for them. And there's just a ton of different stuff that they can do. I mean, 40th Return of the Jedi has not gotten a tremendous amount since late March, early April, that I know of, at least, since the C-3PO with Salacious Crumb and the removable helmet Darth Vader.
Honestly, bro, I think they had to wait for the Flash. They had to wait for the Guardians of the Galaxy, Indiana Jones, all this movie blockbuster stuff.
Well, we're free and clear of that stuff, and they can start, giving us a little bit more of that. And
remember, we got 4 from Attack of the Clones 20th in December.
Yeah.
So they could do the same thing with Jedi.
No, I think there's going to be more. I think I think they've been holding back, and they've been waiting for this event, and they're just piling on right now. And it's certainly wonderful discussion points for us, isn't it?
I think so. So you say more, and I agree with you absolutely. Second brother, we're going to get more, or is this it for the showcase?
I think we're going to get more. It's kind of hard for them to just blow their load like in the first couple of days. And even though I think it haven't even started, just it's like I could just turn around and say, well, the sideshow con, So hopefully, they crank things up. And it's just the guys talking about with this Ahsoka line. I think they're going to come out. I think they'll come out with 10. I got to be with my man, Star Wars Newsman, on that. I think it's going to be 10 figures they're going to put out from that.
I think you guys are closest. I definitely think 12 or 15, but I'll take 10. Lane, I know I'm crazy, 12 or 15, but I don't know.
I think some more coming. We're going to get at least a few more, I think, by the end of the week.
Will we get any Star Wars? Or will it be Marvel? Or will it be DC?
Oh no, I think it's
or everything.
Moff Gideon's definitely, I think, going to be for part of this, and then I think it's going to be a combination. There are maybe another Star Wars figure. I think we got 4 or 5 more figures that'll probably be announced by the end of the week.
Is it possible, then, Lane, that they actually give us all Return of the Jedi 40th?
Well, okay. To counter that question, my answer would be no. But do you guys to you guys, another ship that unfortunately struck an iceberg and the Eiger iceberg and sank. What do you guys think? Do you guys think we'll get an actual release, like a figure release this week, or it's going to be all pre-order? Yeah, this week.
I hope not, because I've had to. I was just telling Ray how much I have to spend with everything, and I was talking about that on the market show. And we got a lot more coming up at 6-scale Cantina. It's a complete 180 in the market. It's a complete 180 in the primary market lane, but it's also a complete 180. Kind of. We used to complain we're not getting anything. Now we're getting everything.
Well,
the days of waiting for Yelena and Cable, I think, are coming to an end, baby. I need to get another credit card. Just saying. But you think there's going to be more. So let's go to Mario. Mario, more with this, or is this it? Or did they blow the load as... Oh,
my. No, there's more coming. Absolutely. It's con season, man. We still got what? We got another con. We got the China Joy coming up this week. I know InArt's got some stuff they're going to show. We got, I think, ACGHK, if that hasn't already happened yet, along with another show in Japan that's coming up too, I believe, next month. So yeah, there's more. There's more coming up, man, for sure. And I'm wondering what Lane's laughing at.
Oh no, Joby had a good comment.
Yeah. Nah, more on the way. But I'm also hearing next month is also going to be a big month for releases as well, as far as what's actually dropping. And I hear it's going to be worse than we saw this month.
Oh, jeez.
So
you think
set your ready. Drops to ludicrous speed.
Exactly. Yeah, get ready. Get your wallets ready, man, because things are going to be coming in hot from what I heard.
Well, guys, listen. I would say subscribe to Brent and to Lane and to Second Brother, but unfortunately, they don't have channels yet. But you have to wonder or ask yourself if they eventually will. But definitely this guy here, Mario El Profesoro, always the link to his channel when I go live, whether he's on or not. So please go ahead and smash the subscribe button on El Profesoro's channel. He does appreciate your support. We all do. Show him the love. Guys, this was great. I spilled a lot of coffee. There's so much more to do, but fitting, very, very fitting here. Here's how we're going to end the show.
With
my last predict. Yeah, go ahead, Lane. Go ahead. Go.
Sorry. One thing, because I forgot to do this earlier.
Okay, go, baby.
A second. We forgot to give out as a farewell to everybody. Let's give away a quick 6-scale Cantina membership.
You are the man, giving away a membership to the Cantina. Lane's going to win it.
That's probably singer-songwriter.
Lane won it? Really?
Wow.
Who got
Lane?
Who
it was single songwriter again. How did he keep winning?
Single songwriter?
This is like the fourth time.
Because he's like...
They call him...
Because this is what he is.
The Wizard.
I had to see single.
That's hilarious.
Some money so get some lottery tickets or something.
I mean, that is literally the fourth time I have done that. He won it.
You know what? Welcome, single songwriter, another Cantina Insider, another member. All new shows up today on a new series that I started called Wizards Crystal Ball, available only for channel members. I talked a lot about stuff. I talked about Adam West today. And I gave you data as to why another Adam West Batman is coming, why a Gamora may be coming. What else did I talk about? Did I talk about Padme or Queen Amidala with the red outfit in the throne from the Phantom Menace? And that could possibly be the. We talk about the InArt Joker. We talk about the Hot Toys Joker. We talk about this or that, but is it possible that Queen Amidala on the throne with her makeup and that wool hair that would go all around would be the showpiece for Hot Toys for all of their figures?
That'd be a good one.
Well, I think it'd be a good one. Let me put it to you that way. I think it'd be a good one, and I think it's coming. But thank you so much there, Lade. You're awesome, buddy, and welcome in here, single songwriter. Again. But I'm going to end it like this with my last prediction, which will put a smile on Mario's face. I don't always empty and spill all my spotchka, but when I do it here at 6 Scale Cantina. Stay thirsty, my friends.
All right. But this is the last time.